Steelers and Dolphins channels as well. We will launch those simulcasts. Your picks coming up here in just a little bit. So Steelers fans, Dolphins fans, welcome into the live stream here at Chat Sports. Anyway, Williams 1, Daniels 2, May 3, Harrison 4. No surprises there. Joe Alt 5, not a surprise, but wasn't maybe the most commonly mocked pick. Blake Neighbors was popular. J.C. Latham 7, a little bit of and then Penix and 8, the shocker of the evening.
That is going to be the storyline of the night when we're done. We're going to be talking about that pick for a while.
Blown away by it. Rome Odunze at 9 to the Bears. J.J. McCarthy at number 10 to the Vikings. They move up one spot. The Jets trade down to number 11, and they have made their pick, Olu Fashanu out of Penn State. Woo! So no one does a bean boozle there. Different offensive lineman off the board there, Sperry.
So do you think... Here's the thing, man. Does he start over Tyron Smith right away at left tackle?
No, but you know that Morgan Moses and Tyron Smith aren't going to stay healthy for a year, so there's your long-term.
Yeah, that is very true. Literally everybody on that Jets offensive line has an injury history. Olu's going to find a way on the field. Fantastic pass protector. Still has a little bit of work to do as a run blocker, but you know he's got the physical tools you look for. He's a great fit for this scheme from a skill set perspective. I like this pick. I thought it probably would have been Fano out of Washington because they liked Elijah Vera Tucker, but I love Fashanu here. I think he's a great player. He's my number 2 offensive tackle this year. I think it's a good fit.
Yeah, similar grades. See the player very similarly there as well, so I won't go too far in depth on this one. Comp-wise, athletically, Jets fans know this one. D'Brickashaw Ferguson. Ooh. Similar athletic testing. He's 6'6", 312 with 34-inch arms. One note, surprisingly small hands.
Yeah.
8.5-inch hands, which is like rare outlier size. You can see that brace on his left knee was a meniscus injury that he kind of battled through, which the knee injury overall was a slight red flag, but clearly not much of an issue there. And you can also see from the photo alone, those hands are low.
Yep.
And that's a coaching thing. I don't like the hands low. I like them high. It's just less movement because you're going to get into the shoulder pads. Why bring them up? You're asking to get swiped back down. He's trading under Duke Manyweather, though, the O-line guru. So, I look, he's a top 10 player for me. Love the pick for the Jets.
Yeah, I think that this works. Like you said, smaller hands, but I think that his hand placement is actually pretty decent for like having smaller hands. Plus, he's got pretty strong hands. He does have good power there in his arms. So I think that this is a fantastic pick. I agree with you. He's a top 10 prospect in this class, and I really do like the fit here with the New York Jets. I think he's going to be a good player for a long time, and we know somebody on that offensive line next year is going to get hurt. You got to protect Aaron Rodgers. This is a great pick for the New York Jets. I'm a little surprised they didn't go with Bowers, though, just because you're not going to get a Brock Bowers later in the draft.
No, but
you're not going to get Nolu Fashanu either.
You weren't going to get. There were a lot of things you could have gone, and they would have been good picks.
Yeah, I mean, if I were the Jets, I probably would have thought I could maybe get a developmental tackle in the second or even the third.
I'm giving it an A. Spoiler for our draft grades, it's an A for me.
I like the pick. I'll probably give it an A too, but like I probably would have thought it would have been Bowers because if I would have put myself in their mindset here, I probably would have said I can get Brock Bowers now and then maybe get like a Patrick Paul in round 2. I don't know, but I like the pick. He's a good player.
All right, Broncos coming up next here, then the Raiders, but today's show is made possible by Game Time. Prices tend to drop as the event gets closer. So use Game Time. Don't stress out about who Denver's picking, like maybe or maybe not. Producer Sam's going on right now. Don't worry about that. Don't stress. Use Game Time. $20 off with your first purchase. When you use code CHATSPORTS, that's CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. You can find some cheap baseball tickets, folks. You can get them super affordable and just be able to have a nice afternoon at the ballpark. Don't worry about your stress from whatever's going on in the NFL draft. Instead, use Game Time. Links in the comments and the description. Promo code CHATSPORTS over at gametime.co. Sperry, the pick is in.
Yes,
we have taken the toasters out of Sam Brown's house as the pick. That's an inside joke. Bo Nix Sperry's the pick to the Denver Broncos.
All 6 quarterbacks of the first 12 picks of the draft.
Everyone else is like, yes, this is great.
And by the way, the Raiders, I know Mitchell Renz is over there in Studio B just going crazy, so excited that he is not going to have to call Bo Nix games. Or
can we mic Sam up for a little bit here?
Yeah, can we get Sam on here? Sam, I have been telling you for literally months since the start of the draft process, You are going to have
he says he's busy.
Sam, you are going to have Bo Nix, and you are going to like it. And as a Steelers fan, I cannot wait for Monday Night Football Week 1 because that's what it's going to be in Mile High Stadium. It's going to be Russell Wilson versus Bo Nix, and they're going to win 30-6. Let's go.
Look, let me start positive here. This is a 1,000-time better player than the dude we saw at Auburn. The Auburn player was bad. The Oregon player was wildly productive. He has athletic ability. I think the arm is solid. He never fumbled at Oregon after 10 fumbles at Auburn. It was kind of hilarious how he fixed that problem there. He doesn't turn the football over. It was a 1% turnover-worthy play rate, basically non-existent right there. He has a very quick time to throw. He will execute the offense as it is asked, which maybe Sean Payton was burned by Russell Wilson not doing
most
that
definitely
this past year. The arm is solid. The mobility is there. He was good under pressure, but hardly faced it. He will attack the middle of the field. Here's why he is a third-round grade. I mean, he's inside my top 90, and that's it. This was a check-down, short passing game merchant at Oregon. The average depth of target was bottom 5 in college football. Like, there was one read out, one read out, one read out. I think his eternal clock gets sped up sometimes as well, and that was a fake offense. That was a Mickey Mouse offense. Now, that's a compliment for college teams. Kind of like how when you go to Disney World, you want it to be Mickey Mouse. In the NFL, it's not going to work that way. This was RPO, screens, vertical shots. It's my NCAA 14 playbook. It works marvelously. But here's the stat to sum this up. Despite 120 more completed passes on 140 more attempts than what J.J. McCarthy did, he completed 7 total passes more on 8 more attempts beyond 10 yards. There was 900 yards on screens this year. This is a very different offense. I think Peyton can make the most out of him, get the most out of him. My player comp is Midget Mariota. There's my final burn. I don't like it, Denver. I'm sorry. I don't like it.
Yeah, especially competing against Mahomes in that division. You know, it's Sean Payton is going to have to coach his ass off to compete in that division, playing him twice a year.
You don't have top 10 quarterback upside here.
Yeah, you don't.
So why'd you take him? Because you have to go beat Mahomes.
Well,
that's what I understand. I give analysis, Sam. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, my comp for him is Kenny Pickett. He does a lot of things pretty good. Like, he's a pretty good athlete. He's got a pretty good arm. He's good with like his first read, but he's not really going to go like full field 4-read, full field progression, right? He's not going to do that. So really good decision maker within that first read, and then he's a pretty decent playmaker as well. But yeah, man, I had a round 2 grade on him for a reason. I just don't see a lot of high-end upside. I think he's probably a career backup in the league. And now
he's starting now.
You're sitting there in Denver, and you got Zach Wilson, Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, and Ben DiNucci, and that is probably the saddest quarterback room in the entire NFL right now.
Couple notes. Make sure you guys subscribe. We have no defensive players yet.
Yeah, no defensive players in the first 12 picks, folks. That's unbelievable. The Raiders got to take one, right?
Yeah, right.
Defensive tackle, corner, because they can't take a quarterback. That's unless they go Rattler, but that's not happening. So this is just crazy, man. Click that subscribe button right now. We're going to be here for every pick in the first round here, every pick for the entire NFL draft, all 3 days, all 7 rounds. We're just getting started here at Chat Sports. Make sure you click that subscribe button right now. Let's try to get to 374,000 subscribers before I have to go off for the Steelers pick here soon. That's my goal, all right? We can get there, right? Just over 200 subs, we can get there. I'm confident in that. Raiders on the clock. I feel like this has got to be where the first defensive player goes.
I think they like Terrion Arnold. Talking to Mitch, I think they also like Fuaga.
Yeah, and I've heard rumblings about Byron Murphy if he made it here.
He's available.
And if you combine him with Christian Wilkins,
honestly,
that's disgusting.
I'm sure a lot of people here are Raiders and Saints and Colts and Seahawks and Jags fans. Make sure you guys are sub. We'll be here for all the picks for all 3 days. You got to feel pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Like you've had all these quarterbacks go off the board. If you're the Raiders, who maybe they wanted Penix, maybe they didn't, who knows, you're sitting here going, all right, all these seems like I get the pick of any defensive player or probably a top 10 guy on offense this year. I think you're feeling pretty good if you're one of these teams right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo. He's personally my number one corner.
Big fan of his game.
I really love his game. But I really like the defensive tackles here too. You've got Christian Wilkins, but interior pass rush is very important in the National Football League. If you have a really good duo, you can really wreak havoc. If you're going to get to Patrick Mahomes, you better get up the middle to him because he's just so good in terms of maneuvering the pocket, in terms of the edge pressure. I could see this being a Byron Murphy here, but honestly, I could see this being a trade. I could see this being a lot of things for the Las Vegas Raiders because I thought they were going to be in the market for a quarterback here, and I just don't know what to do with this pick now.
I think this gives them the possibility to just take best to play. Sam says,
"Yeah, we'll give him Bo," is what he said.
Bo for 13. Yeah, there you go. If you say so. If you say so. All right, take it away, Sperry.
All right, so spam your favorite team down there in the chat. I'm going to give it 25 seconds. And then I'm going to pick a random team, and we'll talk about him here. Raiders pick is in, by the way, so we should get news on that soon.
By the way, Sam is mentally unwell right now. That is Sam Brown, our Broncos
Well, he
fan.
Shouldn't be.
How is Petey doing right now?
Dude, you are.
Oh! Announce it, Sperry.
The Raiders are selecting Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia. Very interesting pick.
Going to run 2 tight end set with Bowers and Michael Mayer.
Sam
wants to flip that
so
so
you
bad.
just got Michael Mayer last year out of Notre Dame. And now you have Brock Bowers from Georgia, who's a great player, but I feel like this team needed more than another tight end.
Here in the end, and this is how they're going to spin it, this is how I would think about it too, pretend he's not even a tight end. Pretend they just drafted their number 2 wide receiver to pair with Devontae Adams. Pretend they just drafted their Hunter Renfrow replacement. Because in many ways, I've seen comps to George Kittle for Brock Bowers, and I can't quite figure out why that has been made overall. He's not George Kittle.
No, he's not.
I think supercharged Evan Ingram is what this looks here. He's
unique. He really is a unique prospect.
By the way, is Brett out there? Can I say my line that
Brett is out there
that we had to read? Can someone go ask if I can say the Aaron Hernandez line for Brett? Can I say that on air? Wait for yes. This is I'm doing it. This is Aaron Hernandez minus all the murders that went on. That's who this player is. This is an explosive and crafty receiving threat who can do a lot of stuff from the slots. In fact, in 2022. That's where he spent most of his time, was as a slot receiver. Spent 48% of his snaps there, 10% out wide, 40% in line, and 2% of the backfield. There's no confirmed testing, but I don't need to see athletic testing.
I'm not worried
when
about
I saw him run away from SEC safeties. He's fast.
He's very fast.
He's a 3-time All-American. He had ankle surgery this year, missed 2 games. That was it. He is a after-catch nightmare. He's averaged about 8 yards per catch after the catch, which is more than Marvin Harrison did.
Yeah.
Don't treat this as a tight end. Treat this as this is your new number 2 wide receiver, playmaker, dynamic threat, and a supercharged Evan Ingram minus the drops stuff.
So you think he's going to be like a true slot receiver, and then Mayer's going to be the true inline guy there?
Yeah, I think so.
And then Adams is going to be the other legit threat on the perimeter there.
And you'll use a lot of 2 tight end personnel.
Sure.
But you'll use Bowers as a wide receiver.
I got to say, I don't hate it. It gives you a lot of versatility on offense. It gives you a lot of possibilities on the offensive side of the ball. And when you have Gardner Minshew as you're going to be your starting quarterback, and I know Raiders fans right now are saying, hallelujah, Aiden O'Connell is going to be our starting quarterback next year.
Minshew, by the way.
It's going to be Gardner Minshew. So you got to get creative. And, you got Devontae Adams, who is a legit number 1 guy. And now Brock Bowers is going to come in. He's going to be your chess piece that you move all over the place with crazy formations and shifts. I kind of like this from Las Vegas. I'm not going to lie.
It's different, but
I like the thinking from Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco here. That's for damn sure, man.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll pick a team right now.
Yeah, I got screwed.
Buccaneers. Okay. Buccaneers are interesting to me.
They're in the weird range.
Because they actually have, for a playoff team, they actually have a lot of things that they could address. They could use an edge rusher. They could use a corner. They could use inside linebacker after losing Devin White. They have a lot of things that they could address. I think in round 1, probably edge or corner, whoever's the highest on their board.
I think would make the most sense.
Probably
maybe
what's going to happen.
interior O-line, depending on who's there.
Yeah,
maybe.
If Barton is there, which I highly doubt, maybe Jackson Powers-Johnson. But yeah, I personally think it's probably going to be like Jared Verse if he falls, or there's a bunch of good corners in this draft. I'm sure Terry and Arnold or Nate Wiggins will be sitting there for him. Yeah. That's probably where I would expect the Buccaneers to go. So one more here, Tom, if you want to pick a team.
Yeah. I see Colts. Oh, say what? Okay. Colts are coming up here, by the way. There will be a corner for them. Quinyon Mitchell, Terrion Arnold, and Brian Thomas Jr. I think they would have loved if Brock Bowers fell 2 more spots. They would have been very, very happy right there. But I think again, when you're in this range right now, the Saints pick, who they're listening for trade offers, by the way, the Saints are. Maybe Philadelphia. They were rumored to be trading up. We'll see. Saints, if a trade down or pick somebody. Colts, Seattle, Jacksonville, Cincinnati, even if you got to be feeling great right now.
Yeah, if you wanted defense, you are ecstatic.
Or O-line has not really gotten hot yet. Yeah, I think it's about to.
Yeah, especially if they take a player here, it's going to be a tackle because they need 2 tackles. All right, Trevor Penning stinks, and then Ryan Ramczyk, you don't know if he's going to play football again, right? So you need to take one right now for sure. I don't know which one it is. I would probably go with Fotano out of Washington. Is probably who I'd take, but
gives them position flexibility too.
Yeah, but there's also Talise Fuanga here. Who I really like as well.
Slightly surprised he's there, but I don't think he's going to last that much longer. Yeah. Although maybe he does slide. Maybe teams don't think he can play tackle. In which case, that's how guys like Fuanga and Feltanu fall. They don't trust the tackle, but kind of like Graham Barton too.
Absolutely. So, what's crazy is I think the New Orleans Saints are going to take a tackle here, Tom. And then it wouldn't surprise me if the guy that I kind of connected to the Colts to start today's exercise, Brian Thomas Jr., is the pick for the Colts. And we might go the first 15 picks without a defensive player, which would just be unprecedented. I don't know if I'll ever see that again in my lifetime.
Probably not.
And it's not like there's bad defensive players. Like, I have a super high grade on Quinyon Mitchell. Okay, we got 2 super chats here. So we got Cody, who goes, okay, so producer Jack is letting me know this is Michigan Football Report legend Cody Mumford. Is that how you say it? Anthony, go blue. Thank you so much, Cody. We got more super chats here. Jeff Davis here, $5 super chat, says just ready for the Cowboys to fumble the 24th pick or trade out of the first round. Thoughts, Tom?
The vibes are bad, folks.
$5 super chat from Lone Wolf, who says for the Cowboys, W/trades, 30 Graham Barton, 35 Jordan Morgan, Trey Benson, 87 Edrin Cooper, and Justin. I don't know how to say his last name. Aboyshby. Great at filming.
I don't know. It's an A. I don't know how we're getting all those picks, but I love it.
Lone Wolf.
Barton isn't getting to 30, by the way.
Probably not. $2 super chat from Rob W. Thank you so much, Rob. We got $10 from Duncan. Says, hey, Tom, with all the offensive talent falling, do we still go O-line? It seems like everyone might GT got jump at as many of these O-line as they can, and they won't be there. Might as well go D-line.
Very well might happen. And we'll know, I think, around the Dolphins pick how that's going to play out there. So I would not be surprised if that ends up happening. So we'll wait and see. But that's a real possibility. They get jumped and they take a Darius Robinson at 24.
Saints haven't taken a pick yet, which is, I think they're definitely looking to trade down. $10 super chat from Marcus Arnold says, I don't see any good left tackles in the first. Do the Cowboys take the best left guard or wait until later, take the best linebacker with 24?
I think if there's a guard that they like, if it's like, Faltanu falls or Barton there, or maybe a center, I think they're going to take him.
Sure, yeah.
And then the linebacker, the Edrin Cooper, I kind of wouldn't like it.
Yeah, this is a bad year to need an inside linebacker, my friend. It is not good whatsoever. We have a pick here for the New Orleans Saints. Not yet. Not confirming.
Go back up to the top. It's there. We're good.
All right, there it is. We have confirmation. It's going to be Talise Fuanga out of Oregon State to the New Orleans Saints. What do you think here, Tom? You think they're going to plug him right in at right tackle and then try Penning again at left tackle if they can't get another guy?
I think that's the plan with Ramczyk's uncertainty long term. There has been some pronunciation drama. So all of the pronunciation guides
say Fuaga.
Taliesin Fuaga.
Yeah, Taliesin.
And then at a Senior Bowl interview, he's like, no, it's Talise Fuanga. Like how Tua Tagovailoa has the invisible
it's Samoan.
NG in there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Well, I think for him, it's kind of like either's fine type of deal, like because he's grown up with a trickier name.
And at the very least, they need guard help too.
And
he would be an all-pro guard.
If Ramchek's back, you plug him in at guard. So that makes a lot of sense to me for the Saints. He actually was a top 10 player for me. I didn't think I was going to like him as much as I did. I'm like, there were people like, his arms are bad. I'm like, no, they're fine. The length gets checked off enough. It's 33-inch arms. It's long enough this day in college football. He's a powerful player. That Oregon State offense hit him a little bit in pass protection. Like it wasn't a true drop back, full heavy passing offense right there. There were concerns like, how good of an athlete is he? Survey says incredible. Like 6'5", almost 6'6", 324, and a 5'1", 340, a 32-inch vert, and a 9. Incredible.
Yeah.
Never allowed a sack in college.
Yep.
Now, again, I think the offense kind of hit him. He'll do some oversetting stuff, which would be mitigated by a move to guard on the inside. But you're filling a need. You're getting a value player. Love the pick for the Saints here.
Yeah, I like it. I like it too, man. You can plug him inside if you need him to. He's going to be able to play right tackle if Ryan isn't able to go, at least to start the year. Like you said, elite physical talent. He moves really well as a run blocker too, which is something I like for a guy his size. I think he's going to be a dominant run blocker, and we know Clint Kubiak's going to want to run the football there in New Orleans. I like the pick, man. I have no complaints.
Will jump a little bit. He gets a little trying to get ahead of it.
And that's because I don't think his lateral quickness is like elite, so he tries to overcorrect at times, and he can lose on the inside at times in the drop back.
I think it's also kind of cover up some of those arm length stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So
which happens.
I like the player, number 14th overall player taken. I like it.
Comps here: Jamal Brown athletically, maybe not quite as good. At guard, like some Brandon Scherf athletic ability there.
Yeah. I like both of those right there.
You have a starter on the offensive line. You did it. Good job, Saints.
Tom just gave you the thumbs up sign. You need to give us the thumbs up right now on the stream. Right now we've got almost 5,000 likes.
Shatter that mark from last year,
Shatter it right now, all right? I will do another Bean Boozled, all right? I hate doing these things, but I'll do it for 5,000, all right? I have my price, Tom Downey, all right? 5,000 likes. We're less than 200 away. Am I right on that? No.
Math?
Yeah. 200 away.
Over.
Exactly 200 now, okay? So we're 200 likes away. Click that thumbs up icon. If we get to 5,000, I'll do another one of these things. I hate doing them, but I'll do it for you. It's the NFL draft. It's football Christmas. We're getting going here on Chat Sports, man. I absolutely love it. Let's run through the picks here, Tom Downey.
How do you do it?
All right, let's do it.
Give someone else's.
I'll give my thoughts.
Rapid fire.
Caleb Williams. Next Patrick Mahomes.
No. We went over this. We talked about this last year. Patrick Mahomes comps are banned.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
You lost your privileges. The draft world did when they said it was Zach Wilson.
Okay.
They're banned forever.
I think that we view comps like just fundamentally differently. Is he going to win 3 Super Bowls in the same amount of times as Mahomes has? No. Probably not. Is he going to win 2 MVPs in the times Mahomes has? Maybe not. He could, but maybe not.
Probably not.
Okay, probably not. But the play style is the closest we have seen since Mahomes when he emerged in the second season of that Kansas City offense. You just can't say any other way.
Honestly, Mahomes,
like if you have to compare his game and his play style to anyone,
Kyler Murray.
No, it is Patrick Mahomes because he's bigger than Kyler. He throws over the middle way better than Kyler does.
Not that much bigger though.
Yes, Kyler's what, 5'10"?
Yeah, but we're
3.5 inches taller.
Closer.
Just a little bit taller. Are you kidding me? This guy, I think, in my opinion, he is the best quarterback prospect that's ever entered the league. Now, I wasn't around for Andrew Luck, all right? I wasn't around for Manning. I've only been doing it for 7 years, okay?
Yeah.
He's the best guy that I've seen from college heading into pro. I love that pick. I think they're going to compete for a playoff spot immediately. Jaden Daniels, Washington, love that pick. Drake May with New England. He needs to develop. New England, don't rush him. Marvin Harrison Jr. with Arizona. Love that pick. Kyler needs a dominant perimeter threat. You get that with him. Joe Alt, I'm very happy they took him instead of Latham. Alt is definitely the number 1 tackle in this class for me. Malik Neighbors. If you're going to stick with Daniel Jones, he's not going to be throwing the ball down the field. You need somebody that can win after the catch. Malik Neighbors does that for you. That's a fantastic pick for them. I don't like the J.C. Latham pick. You had guys that can play left tackle at a high level available there. You went with a guy that I think is going to be a guard in the National Football League. I don't think he has he might play right tackle. I'm not sure if he's a left, and I don't like Dylan Radins on the left side either. Michael Penix Jr., worst pick of the draft. I don't think any pick that's going to happen is going to be worse than that. Odunze at 9. I love that for Chicago. Great chemistry with Caleb. That's a really scary wide receiver trio. JJ to Minnesota. I love that Minnesota didn't overpay for him, but he is a good fit there. Olufashino out of Penn State. Love that for New York. Somebody's going to get hurt on that O-line. Bo Nix to Denver. They needed a quarterback, but he's a round 2 guy, in my opinion, probably a career backup. I don't see him as an impact player in the league. Brock Bowers, very interesting pick. I'm interested to see how Luke Getsy uses him.
It's different.
He's not the most he wasn't the most creative offensive mind in Chicago, but things might change because if you're taking him here, you have a vision for him. And then Talise Fuonga out of Oregon State for the Saints. They needed a tackle. They got that guy. I like that pick right there. And now we have the Colts, Tom Downey, and there's still no defensive players that have gone.
That's pretty wild. Dallas Turner is kind of sliding a little bit more than I think most people thought he was going to. This might be a good Quinyon Mitchell range here. Troy Fatano's there. I'm high on Graham Barton quite a bit there. I got my guys, Amarius Mims, Johnny Newton. Byron Murphy is there too. So if you want a defense, you're in pretty good shape there, Jack. Take it away.
All right, today's live stream is brought to you by Mando Whole Body Deodorant. You can get $5 off a starter pack today when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. Ditch the soap and step up to the plate with Mando Whole Body Deodorant today. Developed by a doctor, this game-changing formula is safe for your body, for your entire body, and knocks out odor like a champ. Mando is made with mandelic acid, which picks off odor at the source, keeping you fresh for up to 72 hours. Mando is available in solid sticks, invisible cream, body wash, cleaning bars, and deodorant wipes for on-the-go use. Don't let foul balls ruin your game. Switch to Mando and keep your body odor in fair territory by taking advantage of their special offer for new customers of $5 off their best-selling starter pack when you go to shopmando.com and use code CHAT. Guys, I use their body wash every single day, the bourbon leather body wash. Absolutely love it. I highly recommend it to anybody. Now, I've always kept my odor in check, but man, the people here at Chat Sports, before we started partnering with Mando, it was getting a little bit rough here. I'm not going to lie, but after we started partnering with these guys and they got some Mando products, everything has changed for the better. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick of deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like this mini body wash that I showed off earlier, plus free shipping. Luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market today. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code CHAT at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. A big thank you to Mando Whole Body Deodorant for sponsoring today's live stream. All right, man, show some love to our sponsor, Mando Whole Body Deodorant. Spam Draft on their latest post. Is it on Instagram or is it
Instagram?
It is on Instagram. So go to Instagram right now. Check out Mando Whole Body Deodorant. Spam Draft on their latest post. And the link is going to be in the chat. Producer Jack is putting that in there right now. Go there right now. Take care of that. And are we doing shout-outs for everybody that does, Producer Jack?
We will. We'll probably come back to it.
We'll come back to it. So if you do that, we will come back to you and we'll give you a special shout-out on the show. Really appreciate our friends at Mando for sponsoring today's show. I see Kurgan Cold with another 69. Somebody's getting slapped on the show. And I don't think it's me, Tom Downey. All right. So now let's get to the Colts pick, and it's going to be,
I know, right?
My number 1 edge coming off the board. Very nice. Tom Downey, take it away, my friend.
Look, talent-wise, ignoring the medical stuff, number 1 edge I think is a very popular refrain there. I got him at 19 overall because of the medical stuff.
Apparently they checked out.
Yeah, you never know until the draft. Right, because it's he was medically retired at Washington due to a neck injury.
Yep.
And then had to get that all sorted out and figured out from that perspective. The production was incredible. 21.5 tackles for loss this past year with 13 sacks. 20% pressure rates the last 2 years. So every 5th play, he's impacting the throw and getting after the quarterback right there. 5 forced fumbles. He had 34 TFLs in 25 games at UCLA. He's a really good athlete. He's not as freaky as like the Jalen Phillips, which I think is a good comp with the medical concerns there. Goes in a very similar range.
Same number.
I like a Trey Hendrickson comp.
I don't hate
He's
that.
not an elite run stopper, I don't think.
Hendrickson doesn't have a cross chop.
No, he doesn't. Like, but they also like they win. They get pressures. Despite not being.
Yes.
They're also very similar builds. He's got the Euro step, which I'm always a big fan of, which I like to see.
It's just beautiful, man.
There.
Just beautiful.
I thought Fuanga did a pretty good job against him.
Yes, he did.
That was kind of the one knock. I thought the length isn't great, but he got an impact pass rusher. A little surprised it wasn't a corner, but the first defensive player off the board finally.
Yeah, I mean, they like athletic freaks. I wouldn't say Latu is a freak athletically, but let's just face it, Kwity Paye has been fine. He's not much of an impact as a pass rusher. He's a good run defender. And then Samson Ebukam? Yeah, he's the other edge rusher there. He's fine.
They love getting pass rushers.
But Latu is like a legit number one edge rusher day one, in my opinion, if he can stay healthy. There's just not many guys that can pull off the cross chop move because it takes such balance and bend and athleticism. I think Latu's going to be a really good player if he can stay healthy, and that's kind of a big if with his history. So make sure you spam draft. A few shout-outs. Where do we see them?
I got to pull it up here.
Okay,
I got to pull it up. Let's see. We've got, let me go to the top of these so I'm not missing anybody. A. Jones, Immortal Life Trippy, Joseph CEO, Zach 2C. Almost clicked on somebody. Jared, Shane Amick, Bethany, SU Pressure. Bunch of those from SU Pressure. Mirko's got a bunch of them in there as well. Crystal 42, Jam Walder, Bridge Racing. I think that's Wookiees. Might be mispronouncing that one from that perspective. Let me keep scrolling down here. I don't want to get the Raiders ones in there necessarily either. Save those shout outs for those people. Think we're mostly caught up here. Let me keep scrolling. I think we're about caught up there. Psycho Modern. It keeps it loads and then it scrolls past where it's currently at, which is very frustrating. I think we're about caught up there, guys.
All right,
so
let's kind of recap the picks here.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Drake May go off the board. 1, 2, 3, straight chalk. Marvin Harrison Jr. goes 4. Joe Alt to the Chargers at 5, not J.C. Latham like it was rumored to be. Malik Neighbors, a great fit for the New York Giants. J.C. Latham to the Titans. Michael Penix Jr., the crazy pick of the day at number 8. Roma Dunze pairing up with his buddy Caleb Williams there in Chicago. Great day for the city of Chicago, if you ask me. J.J. McCarthy trading up for him if you're Minnesota, not giving up too much for him, getting the guy you like. Alou Fashiono from Penn State going to New York. Love that fit. Bo Nix stinks. Brock Bowers to the Raiders. I blanked out there for a second. Talise Fuanga to the Saints. Really like that. And then Latu to the Colts. They needed a really good number one edge rusher. They get one here at number 15. And then coming up here, we get Seahawks. Then we get Jaguars, Bengals, and Rams. What can we expect from these next 4 picks, Tom?
Seattle's kind of a wild card, new-ish regime kind of in there. They've been linked to Faltano because they have the similar coaching staff here. Jacksonville could go. The corners are all there for Jacksonville, so that stands out. Brian Thomas is there. Bengals are going to get a good trench player. I think they feel maybe Dallas Turner now with the Trey Hendrickson trade request suddenly starts to be appealing a little bit more than because I didn't think he was going to be here.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised he's there. I thought he'd be a top 10 pick. He's my number 1 defender. Maybe there's something else going on behind the scenes, but there's only been 1 defender taken, so who knows?
Yeah, exactly. So next up here, we had
cycling through.
Yeah, so we got. We're just cycling through. So I don't know if we're going to see a trade up. Do you think we'll see a trade up here?
I mean, if you were a team that was
wait, who is this? Who is this on the phone? Do we know who that is?
I think that's Latu.
Oh, is that? Are they just replaying it?
ESPN is only just now getting to the pick. I'm pretty sure that's Latu. Yeah.
Okay. But there's some teams we still haven't seen an Ayuk trade yet. There were some. I'm not sure if we're going to. We did hear that if the Steelers are going to trade for him, it might not happen until they're on the clock.
Yeah.
So that's still a possibility. Same thing with Jacksonville. They need a number 1 receiver. It's going to be interesting to see how these wide receivers fall to me because you got Adonai Mitchell, you got Ladd McConkey, Xavier Legette. I think is somebody that's going to sneak in here tonight.
Wouldn't be shocked.
Watch out for the Bills. They love those deep crossers, and that's what Legette. That's his specialty.
Yeah.
So I still think we're going to have a run on receivers here. We're starting to get a run on tackles.
I think it's going to continue.
And we just had our first defender, so we'll see if there's a run on defenders here in the middle part of the first round. All right, so now let's get into. If you're just joining us here, we do have a couple of giveaways today. We have a raffle item and then an MVP item. So $20 super chat gets you in the raffle to win a draft swag pack. You get an official draft hat for your favorite team, official draft T-shirt for your favorite team, and a couple of miscellaneous little gifts here from Chat Sports, like a bottle opener and sunglasses and all this good stuff. Great little swag pack there for our raffle item winner. And then our MVP today, rookie jersey. So your favorite team and whoever they draft tonight, that's the jersey that you will get if you are today's MVP.
Kurgan Cold in a runaway right
Kurgan
now.
Cold is just running away with it right now. We got some super chats to run through here. Jameer CP says Penix to Atlanta. I'm still scratching my head. I don't know how to feel. Terrible pick.
Don't like it.
Plain simply. Yeah, Kirk Cousins, I mean, goodness gracious. He just signed there. I wouldn't feel good if I was him. Lone Wolf.
Well, Jack says he hates to interrupt, but he's got something here.
Jack's hijacking the show here. What's up?
Oh,
okay, so Rossini said the Falcons called Kirk Cousins when they were on the clock to let him know. This is hilarious to me. From what I learned, Cousins understood a QB would be considered, but he did not believe his successor would be taken in the first round. I'm told he's a bit stunned. I mean, I think everybody's stunned. Like he completely uprooted his family to go to Atlanta and sign a 4-year contract.
His family's from there. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But also, yes.
But still, you're leaving a good situation in Minnesota to Atlanta, who then immediately drafts your successor, who, by the way, is an older quarterback that cannot create outside of structure. It's like, and the more I think about this pick, the more I hate it. $2 super chat from Lone Wolf here. It says, somehow Burton and Powers Johnson were there at 30. I guess we'll see. Then we got $69 super chat from my man Kurgan Cold. He says, I'm out on the Bengals fan. Keeps talking political trash. He should be blocked. I'll see y'all later.
We'll tell the team behind it to take care of it.
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Look,
we're talking football here. We're not looking at the chat like all that much.
We'll do our best. There are people who are going to do political stuff no matter what. So honestly, just ignore it. I know it's easier said than done.
Appreciate you, Kurgan. You're a real one. $2 super chat from Chuck Nola. And he says that Penix pick is the worst pick of this decade. Probably it's up there.
I don't know about that.
Alex Leatherwood to the Raiders was pretty bad.
I hated Bo Nix more.
Cleveland Furl in the top 5 was pretty bad too. Okay, Jameer CP. Another one says Penix nice. My sleeper QB Las Vegas a better fit. Yeah, I like Penix too. You know, I had him higher than J.J. McCarthy on my personal big board this year. With the right fit, I think he has a higher upside, like with better help than McCarthy does personally. But he needed that right fit, and I'm just not sure if he got there with Atlanta. All right, so we got another pick here, and it's Byron Murphy, defensive tackle out of Texas. I actually mocked Murphy to the Seattle Seahawks in my final mock, so I nailed that one here in the middle of the first round. Thoughts on Byron Murphy to the Seattle Seahawks?
He's 16 overall for me. He goes 16 overall, so, pretty right. I'm a bigger fan of Johnny Newton, but that's fine. I know I'm different than most people on that
I love
front
him too,
there.
man. I really do.
A little shorter. He's 6'1", 297. Arm length is solid, though, and 32 and 3/8-inch arms. Actually benefits him, gives him good leverage, allows him to play low, and low man wins, High motor, really great athletic ability, sub 4.9, 40-yard dash. Can be a little late to trigger sometimes, I think, off the snap, but once he does, he fires forward pretty well. Great production, 16.5% pressure rate, 8.5 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, bunch of pressures. Not the biggest guy, a little light in the pants. Did get to 306 at his pro day.
There it is.
He said he was surprised how much he weighed at the combine. I think he didn't think he was going to be that light, which, it's fine right there. Doesn't get pushed out of gaps, and he actually played a bunch of nose guard for Texas.
Yeah.
Even with Devontae
Good run defender.
He's a good run defender given his size. Interior pass rusher, Mike McDonald coming over from the Ravens, saw how good Justin Madubuike was.
Yep.
Now he's got another one here. The easy comp for all the undersized guys is Geno Atkins. I don't mind that one here. I think Shelby Harris athletically. But the better version than what Seattle had. Like the good version.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. Byron Murphy, just crazy athlete. He's just a psycho on the field. I think that's a great fit with all the rotating disguises that they do and all the different stuff they do with their safeties and their nickel and their inside linebackers. You need to have a really solid defensive line. They needed help on the interior. I mean, this is a no-brainer to me. You need interior offensive line help if you're Seattle, and I know a lot of fans are probably clamoring for Graham Barton here, for example. You can get a good guard on day 2 for sure.
I'd agree.
All right. See you, folks. I'm going to be taking off here. Tom is going to have you. We're going to have Jace Andrews on here.
Give him
in just
second.
a little. Oh, give it a little second.
Yeah, got a couple times there, but Jags on the clock here at number 17 overall. If you are just now tuning in, we will recap the picks for you as we simulcast for the time being on Cowboys, on Chiefs, on Commanders. Dolphins is Dolphins just now shifted off, or is that about to be? Not quite yet. Dolphins TBD on that front. By the way, we have a trade up. Minnesota is jumping up to number 17 overall with Jacksonville, only giving up 167. Wonder if that might be a typo there from the reports. We'll see. But Minnesota is on the clock here all of a sudden. Okay, this makes more sense. It's 167, a third and a fourth next year. I have a prediction. I'm going to go Dallas Turner. They're giving up a lot of capital here in next year's class. A third and a fifth, or a third and a fourth, plus 167 overall this year, as Minnesota is now on the clock here, trading up with Jacksonville to get that number 17 overall pick. Some top players on the board here. Dallas Turner. Quinyon Mitchell, the corners would be a good fit for what they like to do on defense with Brian Flores. Offensive linemen, Troy Fatano are there. Graham Barton is there. Amarius Mims is there. Johnny Newton is my guy. I love Newton. I would love that pick. I don't think the NFL's as high on him as I am. That's fine. Terrion Arnold is there. Nate Wiggins, at least on my board, Nate Wiggins, Jackson Powers Johnson, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Brian Thomas. So Minnesota, 2 trades up in round 1 of this year's class, a 5th this year, and their 3rd and 4th round picks next year. That tells me there is somebody that they desperately wanted that maybe they didn't think would be on the board for them. And they're jumping up 6 spots and really, really limiting next year's draft capital to make this happen. Is the only other pick that I've seen come in this year, a 3rd and a 4th next year, when they already moved on from future picks next season as well, to an extent, to make this happen. So Minnesota, ultra aggressive here in round 1. You can get those predictions in for who you think this pick will end up being. I would guess defense, Dallas Turner, Quinyon Mitchell, all available here on the board at this time, as that pick should be in very, very shortly with the trade up coming in here. There it is. The pick is in. Sperry can suck it. It is indeed Dallas Turner to the Minnesota Vikings. This was my number 1 ranked pass rusher in this year's class. He's actually much higher than J.J. McCarthy was for me on this board. Top 10 player for me in the class. He's my number 1 ranked defensive player, my top ranked edge rusher. The Vikings were in the market for more pass rush help because they had lost Danielle Hunter. They had lost Marcus Davenport. They had only added Jonathan Grenard. Now they find a way to acquire, I think, the best pass rusher in this class with the non-medical concerns that Laiatu Latu had suffered from. And I bet when they do their post-draft press conference stuff, they're going to go, yeah, we didn't think Dallas Turner was going to be there. We had a chance to get our highest-rated defensive player. We thought it would have been silly to not go down that path and acquire him. He plays bigger, in the same way that kind of Nolan Smith does, by the way. He plays a little bit bigger than his size. I don't think he has, at almost 6'3", 247 with really long arms. That's not someone you would think is a good run stopper. I thought he held up pretty well. The length really helps him from that perspective. Gives him some frame to grow into there as well, by the way. He can drop into coverage. I hated when Alabama did that. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Stop doing this. Why are you dropping into coverage? That's dumb. That's lame. You shouldn't be doing those types of things. The long arm and the burst he has off the snap, 4.48 40, a 40.5-inch vert, 10.07 broad, elite athletic ability. All of that allows him to convert that speed into power. And that benefits him in a pretty major way with what he's able to do as a pass rusher. He is young as well. He's 21 years old. The athletic comp here, hopefully a better football player, is Vic Beasley, who's not the biggest guy, but very athletically gifted, offers the burst. I think Nolan Smith, a better version, works well too, where he's a bigger player. So a couple future picks next year. It means next year's draft won't be as good for Minnesota when it's all said and done. But I do think this was a really good, aggressive move by the Vikings as they build out their current core J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback, and going to have some success with Dallas Turner on defense. Quality pick there by Alabama. Hats off to Minnesota. I like being aggressive there. They'll feel it next year with lighter draft capital, but hey, adding good players isn't a bad thing at all. And you're getting they'll say he's a top 10 guy on their board just like he is for me. So Minnesota trades up to 17. They take Dallas Turner. Number 18, Cincinnati, now on the clock here as we bring on Jace Andrews. Jace, how you doing, buddy?
Welcome back. We're good. Brian, good to be back. Bengals on the clock now. Are they really about to get Brian Thomas Jr. here?
I bet they take an offensive lineman.
Think so?
I'm gonna bet Amarius Mims here.
That would be a good pick.
Well, think Jared Verse, Shawnee Newton, Quinyon Mitchell is there when I didn't think he was going to be. So that is a dark horse candidate as well.
Very much so.
I'm excited to see who they pick. A lot of good options here.
Lots of good options. We are closing in on 374,000 subscribers, getting close here, and just less than 120 away. So hit that subscribe button. We got coverage of all 252 picks. Plus, I believe, Tom, you got 300 players, you said? So UDFAs we're going to cover it too.
I got to 3. Oh, there's going to be a lot of guys I didn't get to. There's going to be about 20, 25 guys I did not get to in the end there.
We'll get it off. All right. Well, with that being said, I believe we're getting word your time is calling for Cowboys.
In a little bit here. Yeah.
Really?
A little bit.
All right.
Stand by. We got a few minutes here.
All right. Let's go to a couple super chats here real quick.
Let's
keep going.
That's fine. Go and go to Jace. That's fine. Go and go to Jace.
Let's keep going. Jameer CP with a super chat saying, who should the Rams pick? A couple different options for the Rams. They're closing in here. I think, honestly, probably going offensive lineman with them would maybe be a very good shot. But going in here with the pick, see how that goes. Jim and Molly Bennett saying, who will Tomunism forever be taking at number 3?
Jim's here. Oh my God. Tell him to take Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison. There you go. That's who he's taking. Brian Aycock. This one's from Dolphins. I like Dolphins. Hello from Bass to all Finn family. Jim, Tom will text you tonight. There you go. Hello from Badass to all Finn family. Like the PH there a lot. That's nice. Someone from Cowboys? Okay. Dwayne Jackson, $5 super chat saying, Tom, if all the good O-line are picked, should Dallas trade out at pick number 24? I believe Tom had mentioned that he said yes, if O-line aren't there, the potential to trade out is something that we could see from the Dallas Cowboys. Random Vids with a $5 super chat saying, do you think the hip drop tackle has affected the draft this year? I'm going to go with no. I think that you're still going to take people based off their athletic ability. I don't know how in the world that would kind of maybe affect a little bit, but it's not something I would see being a huge thing. Blood Slinger saying, F Chugs. I second that, of course. Power saying, with all the QBs and tackles getting picked, that made it so there is a ton of great players left. There's a ton of amazing players left, especially on the cornerbacks. There's Quinyon Mitchell as well. There's Kool-Aid McKinstry as well. There is a lot of different good cornerbacks, along with wide receivers that are still available. Brian Thomas Jr. and A.D. Mitchell. Poff Daddy along here. Jack? Poff Daddy saying, trade back or go with D pick. Board looks big. Is this one? This one's on Cowboys, right? This one's on Cowboys. Honestly, the offensive line is still pretty. I think Amarius Mims is a great pick for the Cowboys if he's still there. I just don't see if he's going to be there, though. There you go. All right, the pick is in for the Bengals. Let's go to this next super chat real quick. We want to hit that real quick? There you go. NGA Recruiting's $2 super chat. So the pick is in for the Cincinnati Bengals. They do not go Brian Thomas Jr. They go Amarius Mims, the 6'7", 340-pound lineman from the University of Georgia. Number 4 overall offensive tackle, the 14th ranked player. Amarius Mims is a guy that I really like seeing play, and I think he is a very good fit in a team that needed an offensive lineman. If you look at the Bengals, they've got a couple of question marks right now with T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson both requesting trades, and Amarius Mims now going to help block Joe Burrow, who has had a bit of an injury problem since he has got in there. Now, only 800 career snaps, but when he is healthy, he is playing amazing. The question is, will he stay healthy, and will that affect, obviously, a Bengals team who has had some injury-prone players throughout their past couple of years? Let's just say that. He's very big, and I think that's why there are some concerns with that injury. I know that is something, though, that the Bengals have liked in Amarius Mims. Given the size, he is going to be able to block Joe Burrow at an effective rate, especially in a very good defensive conference there, or division, with the Steelers being in there and TJ Watt. You're going to need some very good offensive linemen. This is going to help out in a team that the offensive line very much struggled in there. So Amarius Mims, they are the round 1 pick, number 18 for the Cincinnati Bengals, an offensive lineman that to me kind of fell a little bit. I mean, 18 is a pretty good slot for him. I would like that pick for the Bengals. Let's kind of recap what we've seen from this 2024 NFL Draft so far. Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick. Jane Daniels at number 2. Drake May at number 3. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 4. Pretty much following the script from picks 1 through 4. Caleb, Jaden, Drake, all the ones that we expected to see in those top 3. And then MHJ, nothing new there. Alt going at pick number 5 is probably the one that maybe started the surprise movement. Then you have Malik Neighbors, J.C. Latham at number 7. The Titans, who were really heavily linked to Joe Alt, then proceeded to then not get him, and they didn't trade back. They stuck with their gut, got an offensive tackle in J.C. Latham. And then the biggest pick of the draft up until this point, the Falcons, who just guaranteed $100 million to Kirk Cousins. They draft Michael Penix Jr., and the 24-year-old with some injury struggles lands in Atlanta, and a tight-knit quarterback competition coming up. Is that the quarterback of the future in a couple years? Lots of question marks, but ultimately that's the way the Falcons chose to go. Rome Odunze at number 9 to the Chicago Bears. You pair him with Caleb Williams, and you have an absolute stud of an offense in Chicago. You have some amazing guys around them, along with DJ Moore, and of course the signing of Keenan Allen, or rather trade for Keenan Allen. That's a very good offense in Chicago. J.J. McCarthy in the trade there goes number 10 to the Minnesota Vikings, as the Vikings move up 1 slot ahead, going to the Jets. And the Jets there take Olu Fashanu. Brock Bowers, the tight end, he falls at number 13 with the Las Vegas Raiders. That's a very good pick. I like that one a lot. And then Talisi Fuaga from Oregon State, the Hawaiian native, goes to New Orleans, playing with the Saints in the Superdome. Laitu Latu, the edge from UCLA, in round 1, pick 15. Steelers. Gotcha. Byron Murphy, the second, and then there at round 1, pick number 16. Obviously, the Jaguars then traded with the Vikings. That was Dallas Turner at 17. And then the most recent pick, Amarius Mims, at pick number 18. So there's your most recent picks.
Welcome into the Steelers Talk live show. I am your host, Jack Sperry, and the Steelers are about to come on the clock here at number 20. Overall, we are partying it up here on Steelers Talk today. Troy Fontenot out of Washington, my number 1 Steelers draft target, is still on the board. The Cincinnati Bengals just took Amarius Mims, one of my other top draft prospects this year and draft targets for the Steelers. And right now, the Steelers, I think, have 2 of their top guys in their sights. Okay, they have both Troy Fontenot from Washington, who I think can play center. I think he can play outside tackle. Now, he did get flagged for injuries by a number of teams, so you're probably taking a little bit of a risk with him. Or you could take Graham Barton out of Duke, who's going to be your starting center right away. He's not going to probably play tackle for you, but if you're looking for interior offensive line help or just offensive line help in general, right now you are just 1 pick away, and the Rams are on the clock, and you can either grab Troy Fontenot or Graham Barton at number 20, and, they could still grab a corner. I mean, Quinion Mitchell is still on the board. They still got Terry and Arnold on the board. Okay, so there's a lot of good players for the Pittsburgh Steelers still available. There has been a run on tackles, so I think that if they want to tackle, it's probably got to be Fotanu here. Okay, it's scaring me a little bit, guys, that he is falling this far, but I love his tape. He's my number 3 offensive tackle in this class overall, And I think he'd be an awesome Pittsburgh Steeler. If you're looking to try to win now, I think Troy Fontenot out of Washington, probably it should be your pick. I'd be okay with Graham Barton. But if you want offensive line, it looks like those are your two guys. But you got other options, man. At wide receiver, there's still some good receivers. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to probably be on the board. You got a lot of options here. We're getting some super chats rolling in. $5 super chat from Mo Love. Says sent us a dog sticker here. What's up, Mo Love? Thanks for joining us here. We got over 1,000 people in the chat right now, folks. Thank you guys so much for joining us for our live coverage here. All right, do we have more super chats rolling in here? Okay, sounds good. We're going to get to everybody's super chats here, so make sure you guys get those super chats in if you want to get on the show. Steelers about to get on the clock. Right now, the Rams are on the clock at number 19. No matter what, I think the Steelers are fine. Because for me, I want offensive line. If the Rams take Troy Fontenot, then you can just take Graham Barton. But if Fontenot makes it to you at 20, I think he might have to be the pick, guys. He's got 5 position versatility, at least 4 position versatility. He can be your starting left tackle if you want him to do that. He can be your starting center if you want him to do that. All right, so Etheria comes in with a $5 Canadian dollar super chat. Says, Sperry, what did you leave us with those other posers? JK, love all the chat sports stuff. Yeah, man, I just had to change studios real quick for you guys, but I'm glad that we have an opportunity to just chill, talk about this pick here that's coming up for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Omar Khan, let's see what he's got up his sleeve here. Is it going to be wide receiver? There's still Adonai Mitchell. There's still Brian Thomas Jr. There's still Xavier Legette. There's still Quinion Mitchell, who's a really good corner on the board. The Rams are taking Florida State edge rusher Jared Verse, which makes sense. That makes sense for them. So now the Steelers are going to have a choice here. You could go Jackson Powers-Johnson. You could go Quinion Mitchell. You could go Graham Barton. You could go Troy Fontenot. I think the best overall player in terms of the calculus here of best player with team need, it's Troy Fontenot out of Washington. I would be ecstatic if the Steelers got him. Now, I'd also be really happy with Graham Barton. And, there's reasons to be happy about Quinion Mitchell and any of the wide receivers that are still here as well. Another super chat, $2 here from Hot Rod 24 says, Sperry, what's your reaction to what? I guess we'll have to see. For Jared Verse, I think it's a good fit for him. Is it pushing or is it freezing? So right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock, and they've got options. I actually wouldn't mind if the Steelers traded down here. I wouldn't mind it. And what if Omar Khan just comes out of nowhere with a Brandon Ayuk trade right here, man? That'd be absolutely nuts. I don't think it's going to happen, guys. Who are they going to pick here at 20? I had picked Troy Fontenot out of Washington. That would be my pick. But, let's face it. Steelers have a lot of needs. They have a big need at wide receiver. They have a big need. We got a $20 super chat coming in here from Fernando Martin. He says, where's Coop? Coop is actually on our Knicks live watch party right now. They're in the final minutes of that game, so he's going to be joining us after that's done. Okay, so unfortunately, it's NBA playoff season. He's got other responsibilities, but he will be joining us later in the show. So thank you so much, Fernando, for that $20 super chat. Do I have my... Where is it? No. The marker. My marker. I don't know. I have no idea where my marker is. But Fernando, I'll make sure I'll get your name on the helmet here. Jared Verse officially the pick. There is a ridiculous amount of good options for the Pittsburgh Steelers here, man. If you would have told me that you had a choice between Fontenot, Terrion Arnold, Quinion Mitchell, Brian Thomas Jr., Graham Barton, there's a lot of players for the Steelers to consider here at pretty much all of their positions of need. Yeah. No, it's fine. Here we go, man. By the way, how bad was that Michael Penix Jr. pick, guys? Holy schnitzel, that was bad. All right. Steelers on the clock with Troy. Listen, guys, I said it yesterday, and I said it actually today. Troy Fontenot is my number 1 draft target heading into the day. He's available at pick number 20. That's who I'm taking here if I'm Omar Khan and the Steelers. So here we go, man. I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. So right now, let's do a like driver right now. If you're excited for this pick, click the thumbs up icon right now. By the way, Jeffrey Cooperstein is finishing up Knicks right now. He's going to be joining us momentarily. Pittsburgh Steelers on the clock. Click that thumbs up icon if you're excited. Type me if you're excited for this pick right now, Steelers Nation. Come on. I want a trench player. I want somebody to protect Russell Wilson, to bolster this run game. The defense is fine, all right? You can find a corner on day 2 in this draft, in my opinion. You can get an inside linebacker later. You can get an interior pass rusher later. By the way, I still think Jerzon Newton is available. What if Jerzon Newton's the pick here? Things might get nutty. Come on now. All right, we got JC14, Christian, Monsta. We got Steelers' dad, Joseph. We got Rodney Green, Jerry, Chris Brown. We got Stranger. We got RC Pond. We got Reggie. Everybody is spamming that thumbs up icon. Come on, let's get that up there. Let's get to 500 likes right now. If we get to 500 likes, the Steelers are going to take the player that you want. And by the way, let me know in the chat right now, who do you guys want the Steelers to pick right now? Who do you want? I want Troy Fontenot. I'd be okay with Graham Barton, and I'd be intrigued by a wide receiver. I kind of don't want to take a corner because you have Joey Porter Jr. as your number 1 guy. You don't need a number 1 corner, and you can get a good number 2 guy later in this draft. The pick is in, folks. The pick is in. I haven't heard anything in terms of who the pick is at this point. Who's it going to be, folks? Oh, my goodness. Keep clicking that thumbs up icon. We're almost at 500 right now. It helps the stream immensely if you click that thumbs up icon. Come on. Yes! Yes! The Steelers are taking Troy Fontenot, offensive tackle, Washington. Yes! Here we go, Steelers! Here we go! Here we go, Steelers! Here we go! Here we go, Steelers! Here we go! Let's go, baby! Let's go! The Pittsburgh Steelers are taking Troy Fontenot, offensive tackle, and honestly, he might play center for the Pittsburgh Steelers next year. Fantastic athlete, super intelligent player. The athletic traits that he brings to the table, it's going to perfectly fit what Arthur Smith wants in this offense. I mean, I came into tonight saying that Troy Fontenot was my best case scenario for the Steelers. And what happens? He falls right into the Steelers' lap at number 51 overall, or at pick number 20. Troy Fontenot, baby! Let's go! This just for reference, guys, this is my number 3 offensive tackle in the entire class. I had him higher than Amarius Mims. I had him higher than Talise Fuanga. I had this guy higher than a lot of dudes. All right, the only guys I had a higher grade on was Alou Fashiono out of Penn State, who went 11, and Joe Alt, who went number 5. This guy falls to you at 20. I mean, goodness gracious. Fantastic stuff here for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Omar Khan. And this kind of reminds me a little bit, guys, of when Joey Porter Jr. fell into the lap of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, he was a guy that I never thought was going to fall to 32 last year at the top of round 1, and he did, and you got an incredible player. I have the same exact feeling with Fontenot here, who is coming in. He can play on the interior if you need him to as a center. in my opinion. I think he has that skill set. He's definitely got the athleticism, and he's definitely got the technique. But if you want to play him at left tackle, he can play a really freaking good left tackle. And by the way, Broderick Jones, I mean, his skill set is perfect to be on the right side. Like, he's a little bit raw in pass protection, and he's a great run blocker. That's the description of a right tackle in the National Football League, guys, plain and simply. Okay, so Troy Fondue, absolutely in love with this pick, folks. I think that this is the best case scenario for the Pittsburgh Steelers tonight. And now you're going into tomorrow with pick number 51, pick number 84, and pick number 98, and you're going to have an opportunity to get another wide receiver. You're going to have an opportunity to get another offensive lineman. And by the way, because Fondue can play tackle and center, that allows you to take the best offensive lineman at the value that you get them tomorrow. So if you can get a Blake Fisher in round 3, take him, and then you put Fondue at center. If you can get a Jackson Powers-Johnson or a Zach Frazier, for example, you can put Fondue at tackle, right? So this gives you versatility, this gives you a really good player, and this gives you a bona fide starter day one on your offensive line. I am in love with this pick from Omar Khan and the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was number 1 draft target on my board, and that's who they ended up getting. I am on cloud 9 here, folks. Okay, Tom Downey has him ranked as the number 1 guard. I think he's more of a tackle. I don't think he quite has the physical build to be a guard, especially I think he could be a center. I definitely think he could be a center, especially in this type of offense where he's going to be asked to move and do a lot of very intelligent things from center. Now, will he play center? I don't know. It's going to depend on who they get on day 2. But this pick gives you versatility. It gives you one hell of a football player, and it gets you like a bona fide Pittsburgh Steeler. Now, hopefully the knee stuff, hopefully his knee is okay, and he doesn't have lingering knee issues. That's the really only red flag I have on him. And he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's got long arms. He's a really good pass protector. I love that move from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Grade the pick for me, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know down there in the comments section what you're thinking. For me, this is an A+. All right, an A+. He was my number 1 draft target this year, guys. And he fell to you at number 20. You didn't even have to trade up for him. I mean, there was rumors that the Steelers were looking to trade up for somebody. I think this is the guy that they were targeting. And you just get him by just staying put. It's a little bit of a lucky situation for Omar Khan, but we are not going to apologize for other people's failures. Troy Fondue is a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let me know how you're feeling down there in the comments section. Woo! Yeah, we're going to do a cut. Let's just do it with you, man. Let's get it out. Yeah, similar. It's Mando for the read. Do we have Mando? I'm guessing we have stuff. Okay. Yeah. All right, we're going to get into our cut here. I'm going to be giving you guys my full breakdown of this pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, it's going to be pretty glowing. So if you're not a Troy Fondue guy, you probably should get out of here, man. I'm not going to lie, man. It's going to be pretty glowing for this player that I absolutely love the pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers here. I honestly couldn't have thought of a better situation for this team heading into the night. I would have been okay with a Graham Barton. I probably would have even been okay with a wide receiver if that's who they wanted to take. But Troy Fondue was the best player on my board at the time that you were picking, and this just fell perfectly into place for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And in here, we're going to get into our breaking news live cut here. And, I know some people wanted Quinion Mitchell, but you have a number 1 corner. And you just traded for another corner that you like in Dante Jackson. You can get a good corner to start for you on day 2 of the draft. I truly believe that. There's a lot of good corners on day 2. The Steelers are going to get one of them. You needed O-line, in my opinion. And that's what you got here if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm in love with the pick, man. I'm in love with this pick. All right, Mr. Tex, are we ready to go? Okay, sounds good, man. Let's get into it right now. It looks like is Coop coming out? I don't know. All right, so Coop is going to be coming and joining us after we're done with our live cut here. We're going to get into it right now. Troy Fotano is a Pittsburgh Steeler, and I'm reacting to it live here on Steelers Talk right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers have selected Troy Fautanu, offensive lineman out of Washington, with the number 20 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. And let me tell you, folks, I am absolutely in love with this pick. As you guys have known, as over the last week, I've revealed who my top draft targets are for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Fautanu was number 1 on my list. And I'm going to be breaking down the reasons why here on today's breaking news edition of Steelers Talk. But before we get into all of the great stuff, breaking down Troy Fautanu's game and why I think he's going to really fit with Arthur Smith's system here in Pittsburgh, make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure you join our Steelers Talk family. I am so excited to see Troy Fautanu play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if you want to get extensive coverage on every single pick that the Steelers make during the NFL Draft this year, make sure you click that subscribe button right now. So let's talk about Troy Fautanu here. And I really do think that he's going to be a great player for this football team. Now, the one concern I do have is that he was flagged for a potential knee issue earlier this week by a number of teams, and that's probably why he fell. So listen, man, like, is it possible that he just has big-time knee issues and he's never on the field? Yeah, it's possible. All right, but if he works out and he stays on the field, man, this guy's a perfect fit for what Arthur Smith is looking for, either as a center or as a tackle, all right? So I think he's got the physical profile to play either, and he can really play either, in my opinion. He's extremely intelligent, so I really think he could make that transition to center if that's what the Steelers want him to do. But he's also the number 3 overall ranked tackle on my board this year. And the only guys I had higher were Olu Fashanu and Joe Alt. So I think that he's highly intelligent. I think that his footwork is sublime. I think that his intelligence as a pass protector is really, really good. And his athleticism is perfect for what the Steelers want to do in the run game. You look at his 2023 grades here, or stats, 75.5 overall grade. The pass block grade, 88.2, fantastic. The run block grade is lower at 62.6, but that's just because he's not necessarily a people mover, a straight line, all right? He's going to be somebody that, Arthur Smith is going to ask to move people horizontally, not vertically, and that's absolutely something Fautanu can do for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just under 1,000 snaps last year. He hasn't really had like a super big knee injury history or anything, so it's kind of interesting that he got flagged by some of these teams reportedly for that knee issue. But let me know down there in the comments section. Grade the pick for me. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to give this an A+ personally, guys. You guys know how I feel about this prospect. I absolutely adore this guy. I think he can play offensive tackle. I think he can play center if you need him to. I think he can play 4 positions. When we know Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin love those position versatile type offensive linemen. So this is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. In just a second, I'm going to talk about our friends at Mando. But while I'm talking about Mando, go ahead and give me a grade for this pick, Troy Fautanu, to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And with that, let's talk about our sponsor today at Mando Whole Body Deodorant. You can get $5 off a starter pack today when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. Ditch the soap and step up to the plate with Mando today. Developed by a doctor, this game-changing formula is safe for your entire body and knocks out odor like a champ. Mando is made with mandelic acid, which picks off odor at the source, keeping you fresh for up to 72 hours. Mando is available in solid sticks, invisible cream, body wash, cleaning bars, and deodorant wipes for on-the-go use. Don't let foul balls ruin your game. Switch to Mando and keep your body odor in fair territory by taking advantage of their special offer for new customers of $5 off their best-selling starter pack when you go to shopmando.com and use code CHAT. I love using their invisible cream deodorant, guys. It's just absolutely fantastic. You put it anywhere on your body, and it really just keeps you fresh all day long. And also, I can attest to this, the ladies also love it as well. Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers because it comes with a solid stick of deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. I really actually recommend you get the body wash. It smells fantastic. It's bourbon leather is the scent. It's absolutely fantastic. Luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market today. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code CHAT at shopmando.com for $5 off your starter pack today. And that's ShopMando, so that's ShopMando.com. A big thank you to Mando Whole Body Deodorant for sponsoring today's Steelers Talk live stream. All right, so now let's get into Tom Downey's scouting report on Fotano. Here he says, not the usual offensive tackle build, but he has great length. I actually disagree with this from Tom. He is smaller, but I think that he really handles himself well. He's got long arms that's more than enough to play tackle in the National Football League, and he moves incredibly well, and I think he makes up for it with his ability to mirror, with his ability with his hand placement, his balance. It's absolutely fantastic. He pulls really well from the tackle position, so that's something that if you want to run gap, if you want to run power, you can move this guy in that sort of way. He's a very good athlete, and he says that he can get out of position in pass protection, but can be mitigated at guard. I actually disagree with this. I think he's almost always in the right position. I am higher on Troy Fotano than Tom Downey, our other Chat Sports draft analyst, is. And now you take a look at the offseason profile here, man. Your salary cap, it's actually more than that after they restructured Alex Highsmith earlier this week. You add Russell Wilson, you add Justin Fields, and you get rid of Kenny Pickett and Mitchell Trubisky and Mason Rudolph. It's a big-time upgrade. You're adding Patrick Queen to the defense. You're adding Cordero Patterson as hopefully a really good special teamer. And now you're adding Troy Fotano, who's looking like he's going to be a bona fide starting center or starting offensive lineman day one for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's exactly what I wanted to hear coming out of night one for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now moving forward, the Steelers are going to be looking for another offensive lineman on day two. They're going to be looking for a corner, and they're probably going to be looking for a wide receiver. You still have those three big needs that you need to address. I think that because a Brandon Ayuk trade did not happen this year, watch out for a Courtland Sutton trade. If that news breaks, we're going to have a video for you guys right here on the channel. But just some final thoughts here on Troy Fotano. I absolutely love this player. I think he can play left tackle, left guard, center, and right guard in the National Football League. And I think this gives you the versatility to take the best offensive lineman at the value that you can get one on day two. If you can get a tackle like a Blake Fisher, you can draft him, and you can put Fotano at center and put Broderick Jones on the left side. If you can get a really good center prospect that you like tomorrow on day two, you can just put Fotano at left tackle, and I think he's going to be just fine from the word go. I just think that he's a perfect scheme fit for what Arthur Smith wants to do. He's a great athlete, long arms. He does a lot of things extremely well, and it's super intelligent player as well, and that's something that we definitely could use here on the offensive line for the Pittsburgh Steelers, because you can never have enough smart, versatile offensive linemen. He was my number one target for the Pittsburgh Steelers heading into the night, and I guess you can say I'm pretty happy with the selection. Now let me know down there in the comments section, who should the Steelers draft next? Who should they target on day two? Should they maybe even consider trading back up into round one? Let me know your thinking down there in the comments section. Should it be a wide receiver? That's probably where I'm leaning. Should it be another offensive lineman? Should it be a corner? Let me know your thinking down there in the comments section. Who should the Steelers draft next? All right, that is our cut right there, folks. Coop is on his way. We're going to party this up, man. So can we recap the picks here that have passed? So I think just one pick has gone. I want to say it's Miami. Miami picked Chop Robinson, I think, which is interesting. I see Steelers fans wanting to trade back into round one a little bit here. I'm not sure if the Steelers are going to do that. I mean, you never know with the con artist. Crazier things have happened, but right now, the Eagles are on the clock. And by the way, the Steelers did list Fotano as an offensive tackle. So this does appear to me like their plan A is Fotano at tackle, left tackle. But like I was saying, guys, I do think the fact that he can play center, he can play guard. It gives you versatility with that other lineman that you take. Like, you can take Blake Fisher now. You can take Christian Hayes. You can take Mason McCormick if you want. There's a lot of possibilities that you could do if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers with this pick. And he's just so savvy. He's so tenacious. He's a great pass protector, and he's definitely a good enough run blocker. Run blocker. I love the pick, man. That's where I'm at. Let me know where you guys are at. Grade the pick for me, and I'll give some shout-outs here. Jamel is giving it an A+. Oh! Randy Taylor with a $50 super chat. Let's freaking ride, Randy. I gotta love it. All right, Tex is gonna get your super chat on here, Randy. Appreciate you, my friend. I'm in love with this pick. It's a good day. It's football Christmas, and the Steelers just got one hell of a present, man. Ulysses Brown is giving it an A. Hot Rod 24 is giving it an A. Laser's giving it an A. Look who just walked in. It's Mr. Jeffrey Cooperstein. Troy Fotanu, number 1.
Let's go.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Coop, you joining us here soon?
I believe I am. Let me go double check with Mr. Scott.
All right, man. Let's go. Randy Taylor with a $50 super chat. I think Coop is going to be coming on here in about 2 minutes. He's got to get some stuff ready. But let's get ready to party, man. Steelers might trade back into round 1. I guess we'll have to see on that. Okay, so we have other super chats we didn't hit. So Timmy Locklear, $10 super chat. Thank you, Timmy. Thank you so much, my friend. It's a great night. It's a great night for Steelers Nation. Fernando Martin, $20 super chat. Says, where's the coup? I think we already looked at this one, didn't we? Yeah, so Randy, thank you so much for your $50 super chat, man. You know what? You know what I'm going to say, Randy? We're slapping Coop in the face with a tortilla for that 50 because he's late, all right? So boo Coop in the chat, and we're gonna slap Coop today for being late to the party here. Let's go, man. I am very excited. What's that, Quinion Mitchell to the Eagles? Is that official? Man, Quinion Mitchell to the Philadelphia Eagles. And, it just feels like Howie Roseman with the Eagles. Like, they always have these players fall to them. Like, Nolan Smith fell to them last year. And Quinion Mitchell is my number 1 corner in the class. And he fell all the way to 22. I think he's the first corner taken. So, that's crazy, man. Lou Rita says, are you okay? I'm great, man. I am fan-freaking-tastic. And Troy Fontenot is the pick. I'm a big fan of his, man. I think he brings versatility. I think he brings tenacity. I think he brings intelligence. And I think he brings high-end technique to the table. And I just love what he brings to the table, man. He's my number 3 ranked offensive tackle in the class. And you're getting him at 20? I mean, I just can't think of a better day for the Pittsburgh Steelers here. I guess we'll see what they plan to do at receiver. I think that the Courtland Sutton thing is definitely going to happen. That's one of my takeaways from tonight because the Brandon Ayuk thing didn't come to pass. So watch out for a Brandon Ayuk trade, guys. No way. When do we come off? Do you know? Pick 25? Okay. So apparently Coop is being shadow banned.
I got screwed. I have to go help.
Everybody, okay, how about this? Randy sent in a 50 to slap you with a tortilla. Can we at least slap you with a tortilla? Because you were late and now you're not making the stream at all. So you owe us at least this one. Plus someone sent in a 50 for it. We have the tortilla right there. It's already a little bit broken, so it's probably going to tear. Coop is literally inspecting this tortilla right now. All right, here we go.
Not hard.
Not hard. Ready? I'm not gonna go full bore here, okay?
Let's go! Wait, so Faltanu, A+?
A+ for me, man. He was like I said from the get-go today, he was my number one draft target, and you got him without having to trade up for him. It's a great move by Omar Khan. The con artist strikes again, my friend. No. Coop really wanted Ayuk, unfortunately. So James Bradshaw says C. Barton or wide receiver. Are you suggesting that they trade up, James? Because that'd be interesting. Now, will the Steelers do it? Maybe, but here's the thing about trading up at this point, guys. You have three big needs that you want to address: wide receiver, corner, and another offensive lineman. Now, maybe if you trade a fourth-round pick for Cortland Sutton, then you can package a second and a third-round pick to try to move up. But at this point, man, I don't even think a team in the first round will want to trade with the Steelers. Like, who wants to go from a first-round pick all the way to 51? Nobody. So unless the Steelers are willing to part ways with, like, next year's second, which at this point I don't think is a smart move, I wouldn't get your hopes up that the Steelers are moving back in. I think that this is their one pick tonight. I think wide receiver is probably the position to watch for tomorrow at 51. And then 84 and 98 will probably be corner and offensive lineman of some sort. That's my best guess right now. So the Jaguars are on the clock. Do we know who they're taking? Brian Thomas Jr. So Brian Thomas Jr. to the Jaguars. They needed a number one receiver. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to develop his route running skill set to be a true number one. But he is a weapon. No doubt about that. So Mike Tomlin, currently talking to the media, he says that they see Fautanu as a tackle. So it sounds like they're going to get an interior offensive lineman tomorrow because they're going to put Fautanu at tackle. And by the way, you know what this means, guys? It means that Broderick Jones is staying at right tackle. So if you were somebody that was like, oh, we have to move Broderick over to left tackle, it's probably not going to happen. Fautanu just doesn't really have the size to play right tackle. He's much more of a pass-protecting left tackle that's pretty good against the run. Plays with great mentality, good athleticism, so he's going to be a fit. He's not going to be the best run blocker in the world, but he's going to be a really good pass protector right out of the gate, in my opinion. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're going to be live until about pick 25 here with Green Bay, and then I'm going to be going back over to the main stream that we have going here at Chat Sports. So if you want to say something, super chat, and we'll talk about it. We'll get your comment on the show. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 51,000 subscribers right now, baby. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen before we sign off. We got over 700 people in the chat right now. 621 likes. Let's get that up to 700 likes, guys. So right now, Dallas is on the clock. You got to think it's going to be Graham Barton. You got to think it's Graham Barton at 24. How are you guys feeling, man? A, B, C, D, or F on the pick for Fautanu? Especially because they see him as a tackle. My initial reaction here, guys, is that Broderick Jones, he's staying on the right side. Like, if they're true to their word here and Fautanu is going to be a left tackle for you, like, because I don't think he's playing on the right side. So I actually like this because I think Broderick's built to be a right tackle. you want your left tackle to be your pass protection specialist, and you'd like your right tackle to be more of like a mauling run blocker type if you had to choose. Broderick Jones is the mauling run blocker that has some holes in his pass protection. Troy Fautanu is the less physically imposing player with long arms and a great pass protection skill set. So obviously the Steelers see Broderick Jones as a right tackle. Now, tell me if you've heard this one before. Omar Khan lied to you when he said that Broderick Jones, they want to move him over to left tackle. Guess what? That's probably not happening now. Yeah. Yeah, I can do it. All right. Oh, yeah, sure. Grade the pick for me. We're going to put a live poll in there. A, B, C, D, or F. I want to see how Steelers Nation is reacting to the pick. I know some people really wanted Graham Barton. I know some people really wanted Quinion Mitchell there. I know some people really wanted Brian Thomas Jr. Like, Steelers had a lot of options there, but the tackles were flying off the board. So, like, if you were going to get a tackle, it was going to be right there. And, like, I honestly think Fautanu was the guy they were targeting to try to trade up for. And he just fell right into their lap at 20. So, here we go. Let's see these results fly in here. 53% say A, 36% say B, 9% say C, and only 2% say D or F. So this is a good pick here. Like 90% of Steelers fans watching this right now, are giving it an A or a B grade. And honestly, the only thing that I dislike about the pick for Steelers is, the potential medical issue questions with his knee. Because there was a report that some teams flagged him for that injury concern. And we said at the time, like, that might mean Fautanu falls to number 20. And that's exactly what happened. And time will tell if those injury issues pop up, and this ends up being a bad pick because of that. But on paper, based on the player that you're getting, at least based on what I've seen on film, the dude's fantastic. Long arms, great footwork, great balance as a pass protector, and he's got long arms to protect against the bull rush. I think he can kick inside and play center if you need him to, if you can get a Blake Fisher on day 2 here, but I honestly think they're going to be looking at interior offensive line probably at pick number 84 in round 3 tomorrow, and I think they're going to try to get a wide receiver at 51, and then they'll probably take a corner of some sorts at 98. Something along those lines. So it seems like Steelers fans very happy with the pick here. And I'm happy with the pick, for sure. Very excited. Very, very excited. Just taking a look at the offseason in a totality here. You get Russell Wilson, who is top 10 all-time in game-winning drives and fourth-quarter comebacks. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, nearly won both of them. He's one of the most clutch quarterbacks in history. Still has a great deep ball. He threw a 65-yard touchdown to Cortland Sutton that last year. Multiple, deep bombs down the field. That's what he's going to be asked to do here with Pittsburgh. You finally have, hopefully, a competent offensive coordinator in Arthur Smith. Man, I just love this pick. And by the way, Omar Khan breaking trends right now. Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin did not go to Washington's Pro Day. And for anybody that said, they have to go to the Pro Day for them to take a player, they just shattered that expectation. So you look at the offseason profile here. You've got more salary cap space than this, by the way. We made this graphic before they restructured the Alex Highsmith contract. I still expect them to add a wide receiver, if not multiple receivers, by the end of the weekend. But here in round 1, I think you needed to go offensive line. And if you were going to get a tackle, and, I think the Steelers, from the word go, were always looking for a tackle here in round 1, it's hard to think of a better fit than Troy Fautanu. who's going to be joining an offensive line now that includes Isaac Seumalo, that includes James Daniels, that includes Broderick Jones, who I think is going to be a really good right tackle in this league. I think it's all coming together, man. And if you make the right pick on the interior of the offensive line tomorrow, you got a very complete offensive line here in Pittsburgh where you can run Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren behind them consistently, and you can just wear out football teams. And that's what I want here, man. That's what I want. I want a bruising run game mixed with a really potent play-action passing game that accentuates the deep pass. So right now, if I were the Steelers, I would love for them to trade their fourth-round pick for Cortland Sutton. So Dallas traded down here. Dallas is trading down with the Detroit Lions. Anybody know the pick? It's Terry and Arnold. Terry and Arnold going to the Detroit Lions. Lions get a steal here, man. Well, Graham Barton is still there. I feel like the Cowboys are going to take Graham Barton or Jackson Powers Johnson. They need a center. And by the way, it looks like the NFL wasn't quite as high as on Graham Barton as maybe we expected coming into the night. I still think Barton's going to go by the end of round 1. But yeah. Troy Fautanu, the pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 20. Mike Tomlin has said that they see him as a tackle. Sure. Dallas moving back. Detroit moving up for Terrion Arnold, cornerback out of Alabama. And guys, we're trying to get to at least 51,000 subscribers by the end of tomorrow's live stream, okay? So make sure, click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's get it going. Let's get it going, man. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. Let's get up to 700 likes. I'm going to give some shout-outs here. Type me in the chat if you've clicked that thumbs up icon. Type me in the chat if you have clicked that thumbs up icon. I'm going to give some shout-outs here to the real ones that are still with us here. David Bowers, Blissy is here. Hot Rod 24. Me is here. Michael Wooden. Devin is here. Titus Kitchen, Yinzer Jake, DS Wilkes, Mo Love, Devin, Kareem, Deuce Beast, Zach, Yinzer Jack, DJ, Devin, Adam Carson. What's that? Packers are on the clock. Cassie is here. Everybody say hi to Cassie in the chat. How do you say your last name, Tex?
You know, it's funny that you asked that because usually I know...
You're super staticky.
Am I staticky?
Yeah.
That's brutal. This mic's brutal. Apologies for the static, everyone. Let me see if I can fix this and make it sound a little better.
Just forget it, Tex.
Okay.
All right, so we got Town Outdoors. We got Daryl Collier. Let's get to 700 likes right now. We're 200 away. Come on, folks. We got Scott Bain in here. We got Ulysses Brown. We got Lawrence Ray. We got Awesome Possum. We got Kyle. We got Hector. So we have a direct quote from Mike Tomlin here at their press conference. And by the way, the fact that they're at a press conference means they're done tonight, all right? So if you're hoping they trade back in, don't think that's happening. Mike Tomlin says, really excited about Troy. As Omar said, man, the tape was just really, really impressive. Not only in terms of his talents, but really I think his talents were really highlighted by the way that Washington utilized his talents schematically. Man, you saw everything you wanted to see. You saw him out in space in the perimeter game, be it crack toss or wide receiver screens. He was great in the run game. He was a great drop back pass protector. And I completely agree with Mike Tomlin in that assessment of Troy Fautanu. He is somebody that moves extremely well. He's somebody that can get out on those wide receiver screens and those tunnel screens and all these different things. I'm really excited about everything that's coming on. Okay, so our bosses just told us we're staying live on Steelers. We're staying live, baby. Our chat room is going great right now. If you want us to stay live for the rest of the first round, make sure you keep getting those super chats in, all right? Plain simply, guys, we got limited studio space. The more money we bring in, the more people that are watching, the more people that like the show, the longer we can stay live, all right? So let's get it going. Blissy1 says, love getting Troy in the first. Completely agree with you, Blissy. I love this pick for the Steelers. And, comparing it to Broderick Jones last year, trading up for him, I like this pick more than I like the Broderick pick because you're not trading up for Fotanu, and I actually have a higher grade on Fotanu than I had on Broderick Jones last year. So I think you're getting a better player at left tackle now. Broderick's going to be a really, really good right tackle for you. And I just love the versatility that Fanu brings to the table. I'm so happy he is a Pittsburgh Steeler. The Steelers needed to fill 2 offensive line spots. I didn't want to roll Dan Moore Jr. out there as a starter any longer. And now, you have a void at interior offensive lineman. I think that is something that they're going to address tomorrow for sure. Make sure you click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. Green Bay Packers on the clock. Anthony Brunson says the O-line is coming together. I completely agree, Anthony. I mean, I brought up the idea when they brought Fontenot in for a visit. I kind of said, hey, man, I like this idea. Keep Broderick Jones on the right side. He is a menacing run blocker. You want your best run blocking tackle on the right side, okay? That's where most of your runs end up going. And I love the way Broderick Jones run blocks. He's still developing as a pass protector. So if you were going to put him on the left side, you're kind of running a bit of a risk. But now that you bring in a very polished pass protector here that's also very athletic, and Troy Fontenot to be your left tackle of the future, everything's coming together. And if you pick the right guy, if you can get a Mason McCormick tomorrow, if you can get a Cooper Beebe, if you can get a Christian Haynes, if you can get a good Zach Frazier even, if you can get a good interior offensive lineman tomorrow, I think you're set if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers along the offensive line. Barring injuries, of course, but you definitely have a bright future along the offensive line if you can make that pick in the second day worth your while on the interior. Very excited, man. So the pick is in. Let's see here. Who do they take? So Mike Tomlin was asked if Fontenot will play center, and he said emphatically no. So they're drafting him to be a tackle. And given his size profile, it just doesn't really make sense to put him on the right side, in my opinion. To me, he's your starting left tackle week 1 next year. And I'm cool with that, man. I am 100% cool with running with Troy Fontenot. Absolutely. Whew. Packers took apparently Jordan Morgan. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Jordan Morgan. Offensive tackle, Arizona, off the board to the Green Bay Packers. It's a replacement for David Bakhtiari. And he fits schematically what they want. I think actually they're probably drafting him to be a guard, not a tackle, because he doesn't have the longest arms in the world, but he's really athletic. I think Jordan Morgan's a good pick for them. Absolutely, man. That's a good pick. What's up, my friend? $2 super chat. Appreciate your support. Oh, first-time super chatter from Hector Zeroni. Let's give him some first-time super chat love with some Ric Flair drip. Woo! Gotta love it. Maybe, man. I don't know. Lawrence Ray says, great pick. I agree, man. I think it is a great pick. Apparently, guys, Kirk Cousins is not taking the news that Michael Penix Jr. got taken at 8. like very well. He's not taking that news well, and then I don't really blame him. Make sure you click that subscribe button, by the way. Let's get it on. If you want extensive Steelers coverage all throughout the 2024 NFL Draft, we're going to be going live tomorrow as well, breaking down all 3 of the Steelers picks. It's going to be a fun day tomorrow, man. Everything is really going to come together for the roster tomorrow. Because on day 3, you're getting some developmental guys. You're getting some guys that maybe you hope are future starters, but probably aren't immediate impacts. Tomorrow on day 2 is where the draft is really won, where you're getting day 1 impact guys that aren't round 1 kind of talents, but can be really impactful players for you as starters. I think the Steelers need to get a slot corner of some sort. They need to get a wide receiver of some sort. Cough, cough, Cortland Sutton is what I would do. Trade a 4th-round pick for him. And you need to address interior offensive line. Those are kind of the big things. You can get a defensive tackle as well if there's a good one that falls to you. There's gonna be some fun stuff. And by the way, I think there's gonna be some good receivers available at 51 for the Steelers if they want to go that route, for sure. Like I think Ricky Pearsall has a chance to be there. Roman Wilson's going to be there. Malachi Corley is a perfect fit for this team. I could totally see him being the pick. So moving forward here, man, I think this Steelers team is really starting to come together. But tomorrow is really where it's all going to come home to us here. I really do believe that. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of moves they make in free agency too. Because listen, man, they made that move with Alex Highsmith to make $7 million more in cap space. You don't make that move unless you're pretty darn sure you're going to be using that money on something. Now, is that Cortland Sutton? Is that Justin Simmons? Is that Tyler Boyd? Odell Beckham Jr.? Who knows? Who knows what their plan is, man? But I just know it's going to be fun, and we're going to be covering it here with breaking news coverage whenever they make big moves right here on the channel. So don't go anywhere. And I think that if I was a betting man, I think that move is going to be Cortland Sutton. I do. He's not expensive in terms of draft capital. I mean, the Broncos have been trying to get rid of him for over a year now. I think he's a perfect fit with what the Steelers want to do. He's a bigger receiver that can run block like hell. He's got great chemistry with Russell Wilson already. I don't think he's going to be really challenging George Pickens' status as the number 1 receiver. He's definitely going to be a true number 2, and you'd be paying him pretty decent number 2 money, $13 million per season. It's definitely a lot less than the close to 30 you would have had to pay Brandon Ayuk if you traded for him. So Graham Barton to the Tampa Bay Bucks. And there goes Barton. So he's not going to the Cowboys. I know there's a lot of Cowboys fans that are upset. And, I would have been fine with Barton if the Steelers took him. Really good player, really good athlete. He would have fit really nicely as the starting center. But plain and simply, what the Steelers understood here is that tackle is way more valuable than center. And there are good values at center in this class. I think that there are a number of guys that could step in and be pretty good starters in the league right away. I mean, Jackson Powers-Johnson and Zach Frazier still haven't gone off the board. I'm a big fan of Hunter Norzad out of Penn State. I like Bo Limmer out of Arkansas. There's a lot of guys in this class that I think can certainly compete for a starting job next year on the interior, and I'm excited for that. Howard Grigo, he says, if he got his extension, why are we talking about him? Who are we talking about? I don't know who we're talking about here. Adam Carson adds Van Pran. How could I forget Cedric Van Pran? I mean, he's a great mover. I think that he would be fantastic in round 3. I think he could be your starting center day 1, in my opinion. I'm a big fan of Cedric Van Pran. And if you can get him in round 3, that'd be a steal. Go get a receiver, round 2. Go get Cedric Van Pran and then go get like Tyke Smith or something at the end of round 3. I really like Tyke Smith, and I'd love for him to be a Steeler. Oh, so he's saying that Sutton got his extension. Did I miss something? Did I miss him signing an extension today or something? I don't think so. If I'm not mistaken, because maybe I'm missing something, because I've been live on a channel for like 5 straight hours at this point, guys. So maybe I missed some big news. I don't think I did. Courtland Sutton has 2 years left on his contract. He didn't sign an extension. And he's not at voluntary workouts. And there's a report. There was a report that came out yesterday that the Steelers are interested in him. And there's smoke to that report. So I still think Courtland Sutton is very much in play for the Steelers. I think round 4 sounds about right for me in terms of value. And it opens up the possibilities for what you can do tomorrow. You can trade up. You could take a defensive tackle in round 3 at a value. You could double dip at defensive back if you want. You could double dip at receiver. It's interesting, man. It really is. I think Omar Khan has something up his sleeve here. I think it's going to be a Courtland Sutton trade. But who knows at this point what they're cooking up, because I trust Omar Khan. You know, the guy has never strayed me wrong. I think that he does a really good job of making the right decision and being prepared to make the right decision in these kinds of moments. And it just continues to show up time and time again, where he's aggressive, but he's not going to pay too much. And he knows his price, and he knows how to negotiate, and that's very evident. So I trust Omar Khan to make the right picks tomorrow, to add the right players, and I feel confident that the Steelers are going to be a very, very competitive football team in 2024. $5 Super Chat from a first-time Super Chatter, Adam Carson. So Adam says, great coverage all offseason. I appreciate you, Adam. Thank you so much for your support and watching our videos. Offseason's still not over, man. I mean, we still got 2 more days of the NFL draft. We got more videos coming out tonight. I'm going to be coming out with my draft grades video tonight. And then we got the day 2 mock draft coming out tomorrow morning. We're going to have live coverage tomorrow. And then also on Saturday. And then we got UDFAs on Sunday. So there's a lot of great coverage still on the way. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Really do appreciate everybody that joins our family. We're now over 50,000 subscribers here at Steelers Talk. You guys have really made this engine go, and I really do appreciate your support. So if you want to join our family today, you want daily and free extensive Steelers coverage every single day, you're going to click that subscribe button right now, and you're going to love it, man. All right. So the Cardinals are taking Darius Robinson out of Mizzou, big edge rusher, like 280-pound edge rusher. And that's interesting to me because I don't think that he's going to play edge rusher in their system. He's going to play 5 technique, and he's a really good run defender. That makes sense to some degree for me. I thought they would go Nate Wiggins at 27. So Worthy and Mitchell. Yeah, Xavier Worthy and Adonai Mitchell are falling a little bit here. Well, I guess Worthy, this is kind of around the area where he was expected to go. So right now, there's some good receivers, man. You got Adonai Mitchell. You still got Xavier Legette out there. You still got Ladd McConkey. Yeah, Keon Coleman's still out there. I'm a little bit lower on him personally. God, man. It pisses me off a little bit that the Eagles got Quinion Mitchell. The rich get richer, man. And then the Lions, talk about the rich getting richer, they get Terrion Arnold, and he's awesome. $5 Super Chat from my man Christopher Ray. Says, I watched Omar and Tomlin interview. Troy will play tackle. Yes, Mike Tomlin said that they are drafting him as a tackle, which almost certainly means he's a left tackle. All right, so if you're somebody that was dead set on Broderick Jones moving back over to the left side, it's looking like that's not going to happen because Fotano just doesn't have the size to play right tackle, in my opinion. Plus, like, if you want to talk about natural position, I think Broderick is a very natural right tackle. Now, he played left tackle in college and in high school, but he was such a quick study, and he was such a great fit at right tackle for the Steelers last year, completely changed their run game. Why would you want to mess that up? And I understand where the Steelers are coming from here, where they're getting an awesome pass protector, somebody that's going to be a really good blocker, reach blocker as well. I'm so excited for Fotano, and I'm excited for this football team. And this pick definitely gives me hope. Not that I was losing hope in Omar Khan to really have a really solid day two. Because wide receivers are starting to fall right now. There's going to be good corners available tomorrow. Renardo Green is going to be there, most likely. Kool-Aid McKinstry might be falling here as well. So, there's a lot of good players that are falling down the board right now in positions of need for the Steelers. And tomorrow, it's going to be me and Coop, not just me tomorrow. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button and join us tomorrow. We're going to be going live for a good portion of day 2 of the NFL draft tomorrow. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on your notifications so you know whenever we go live here on the channel. So Buffalo is now on the clock. Buffalo needs a number 1 receiver. They traded Stephon Diggs earlier. So Christopher Roy, $2 Super Chats, has still got top 3 center there. Yeah. What do you mean by that, Christopher? Do you mean that we still have a lot of good centers available? Like what are you saying there, Chris? I'm trying to understand that. So Hector's asking, do you think they'll get a new center? I do. So here's going to be the deal, okay? They're going to go probably into round 3 at pick number 84, and they're going to say, we're going to take the best interior offensive lineman available. Now, whether that's a guard, whether that's a center, I don't think that they're going to care that much. They just want to get the best player, and then if it's a guard, they'll just move James Daniels to center. That's what I think their plan will be. But, of course, I think they'd prefer to take a true center, like a Cedric Van Pran or a Zach Frazier, something along those lines. I could see them taking Hunter Norzad tomorrow in the 3rd round, potentially. There's some good players. But there's also some really good guards, like Mason McCormick, who came in for a visit here in Pittsburgh. Christian Haynes out of UConn, really good player. There's some good guards in this class as well, folks. So I wouldn't be surprised by anything tomorrow. If I know anything about Omar Khan, is that he's always got something up his sleeve here, folks. So get ready. It's going to be a fun weekend here on the Steelers Talk channel. It's going to be a bunch of fun, dude. I cannot wait. Buffalo Bills on the clock. They need a receiver. Adonai Mitchell is still there. Xavier Legette is still there. Xavier Worthy is still there. Lad McConkey is still there. We have a trade. The Kansas City Chiefs are moving up to number 28 with the Buffalo Bills. And this surprises me, man. I have to think that the Bills like a number of these wide receivers. Because if they had a guy that they really liked to be their number 1 receiver, they'd be staying put. But now they are moving to pick number 32. Kansas City's going to move up. And I don't think we have an official word on the pick, who it's going to be. Make sure you click that thumbs up icon. Let's get up to 800 likes here, man. If you haven't clicked that thumbs up icon yet, what the hell are you doing? Let's get it going. It looks like we're going to be staying live here to the end of the 1st round. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, sticking with us here. as the Steelers take Troy Fontenot, offensive tackle of the future, left tackle of the future for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you can disagree with that all you want. If you're a big Broderick Jones guy and you wanted him to move back to left tackle, it just doesn't seem like that's in the cards. And personally, I'm okay with that, especially with the way things are working out here. I think Fontenot is going to be a great left tackle for this team. I think Broderick Jones is going to be a great right tackle. And that's okay. That's okay. I know you traded up for Broderick last year, but sometimes the fit that the guy has is just the fit. And his fit is at right tackle. And by the way, right tackles are pretty much just as valuable as left tackles in the National Football League nowadays. With all of the top edge rushers lining up on that side of the formation, having 2 first-round tackles, bookends for your offensive line, it's something that's very exciting to me, man. It really is. It really is. I'm really excited about where this offense is going with Russell Wilson and his ability to throw the deep ball, his ability to win games in the clutch, and throw down the field when the defense knows he has to throw it. Like, there's a lot to like right now, and there's a lot to be hopeful and optimistic and really excited about if you are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan heading into 2024. And if Russell Wilson doesn't work out, you've got Justin freaking Fields as your backup option. Wow. The Kansas City Chiefs are taking another deep threat here. Xavier Worthy out of Texas. I'm surprised by this. I thought it would have been for Mitchell. But Worthy broke the record for the 40 time at the Combine. He's an underrated route runner. So this is interesting because they traded for Marquise Hollywood Brown, who's kind of a similar type of player to Worthy. Like, they're both smaller guys. They're both burner, deep threat kind of dudes. Like, what does Andy Reid have up his sleeve here? Because Kansas City is seen more as like a deke and dunk almost offense. And that's kind of crazy to hear because Patrick Mahomes is their quarterback. But they don't really throw the ball like down the field as much as you would think. It's a lot of schemed open stuff. Let's put it that way. But now you have 2 legit deep threats, along with Kelsey, along with Rashee Rice, whenever he's going to end up being back from any potential suspension. But that's an interesting pick to me, man. It really is. I probably would have gotten Adonai just because I think he brings a different skill set that maybe is more complementary for them. Why is Carolina on the clock? Should be Dallas. Dallas at 29. Jackson Powers Johnson is available. I don't know. And by the way, guys, Xavier Legette has not been taken yet. Ladd McConkey has not been taken yet. It wouldn't shock me if the Steelers trade up for Xavier Legette, guys. I don't think it'll be tonight, but like, once the Steelers regroup here and they see Legette is still on the board and there's an opportunity to maybe trade up a little bit at the top of round 2, I think they might take it, man. He reminds me a lot of A.J. Brown. I think that Arthur Smith is probably looking at him and being like, I would love that guy on my offense. So check it out. Yep. We'll see, man. Baltimore could use a receiver. And Buffalo still needs one. They're still picking at 32, so. What's that? I don't think so. Yeah, man, the Steelers, I think, are going to have options at wide receiver tomorrow. I would love for them to trade up for Legette. Or even better, he falls to you at 51 like Fotano did at 20. That'd be even better. Like, Xavier Legette as like the slant man in this offense would just be unreal. Like we know Arthur Smith wants to run these crossers both shallow and deep. We know that he wants to run slants. And he wants to work deep shots off of play action. Xavier Legette can do all that as a number 2 receiver right away. And he reminds me a lot of A.J. Brown, which is a little bit why it's a bit surprising to me that he hasn't been taken. And honestly, I feel like he might be the pick at 32 with Buffalo. He's just too good of a fit with Buffalo, and I think they'll probably take him at 32. Oh, my goodness. What a day it has been here at here at Chat Sports, folks. I've been live on some channel, whether that be NFL Maine or some other channel or on here, for over 5 hours at this point. It's been 5.5 hours straight. And I got to tell you, man, I am gassed. Got a couple more picks here, and then we're going to get to grades eventually. We're going to film a day 2 mock draft that's going to go out in the morning. Afterlife. Yeah. Yeah, man. I got to say, man, my it's been a while since I've done a watch party, so like the throat is definitely a bit hoarse right now. And and the back, I mean, like for me, like I just can't stand for this long, man. It's just I'm good. I want to get to 50,700 subscribers by the end of the night. We got over 400 people still watching live around the world right now. Appreciate everybody. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Join our family. I want to get to 50,700 by the end of tonight's stream. I hope we can get there. Thank you to whoever just subscribed. You're the best. Xavier Worthy on his way to Kansas City. Oh, the Cowboys take Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma. That is hilarious. Oh, that is such a joke. The Cowboys had Graham Barton in their sights, traded back, and got Tyler Guyton, a team that's trying to win now, drafted, in my opinion, a developmental tackle prospect. Oh my gosh, the Cowboys are a joke. Everybody spam F Dallas in the chat. Everybody spam F Dallas. They stink. I can't wait to talk about that pick with Coop. All right, we're almost there, folks. We're 5 subscribers away from getting to 50,700. So the last 3 picks here, we've got Baltimore, we've got San Francisco, and we've got Buffalo. This will be interesting here. Tyler Guyton is a fucking joke, man. There has been a lot of tackles taken here in round 1. So let me count them here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right now we have 9 offensive linemen that have gone. That's a crazy number, man. And I think we're well on our way to having the record for the most offensive players taken in round 1 ever. We're 3 subscribers away. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button, I greatly appreciate it. Join our family today. We try to give you guys the best damn Steelers coverage money can buy, 100% free every single day here on the channel. We have live watch parties for when the Steelers play games during the season. Those are a ton of fun. Those are some really great opportunities for us as Yinzers to come together and watch Steelers football together. We also have daily content for you guys, keeping you up to date with all the latest surrounding the black and gold. I don't think so, man. But they might start him, which would be a disaster. If you guys can't hear him, producer Tex is a big Cowboys fan, and he's in shambles. I would have been in shambles if the Steelers took Tyler Guyton, that's for damn sure. I will say he looks like a Cowboys player, man. He looks like a Cowboys player that stinks. That's where I'm at with Tyler Guyton. Maybe he develops into something, man. He's a very talented player. Great physical specimen, but raw. And for a team that needs a player to play now like they do and to try to win now, yikes, yikes. I can't imagine he's too happy about it. All right, we got to 700 here. Thank you guys so much for clicking that subscribe button. You guys are the best. Now, if I can be selfish here and ask for one more ask, can we get to 800 likes before the end of the first round here? Can we get to 800 likes? Can we beat it? Can we get there? And I also wonder where they plan on playing Guyton. Would they play him at right or would they play him at left? Because he played right in college. But they have, who is it, Terrence Steele at right tackle? Yeah. By the way, Cooper DeJean has not been taken, which is crazy to me because he's such a good player. And somebody's going to get an absolute steal with DeJean. Who's going to go here these last few picks? I think the Ravens might take your boy Adonai here. I think they might take Adonai here, Mr. Tex. Clemson cornerback Nate Wiggins to the Ravens. So Nate Wiggins is a guy that I was a little bit worried about in terms of his build. He's a very fast, twitchy corner that's really good in coverage, but he's skinny. He really is, man. And he's going to have to put on some weight if he doesn't want to get completely thrown around in the league. Just sounds like another Ravens corner for the Steelers to absolutely destroy. The more the merrier in terms of that regard here. F the Ravens, and now F Nate Wiggins. Cornerback out of Clemson. He's got really high upside, though, so he might be a real problem for the Steelers here moving forward. But at the same time, he might end up being a bust as well. If he doesn't add weight, if he doesn't get better as a tackler overall. He's a willing tackler, but he just doesn't have the size to hold up. By the way, 8 likes away from 800. I'm being selfish here. I know, man, I'm begging for likes here, but I'd really appreciate it, guys. Really does help out the channel. You guys are the absolute best. If we can get to 800 today, that'd be freaking fantastic. It'd be a great start to our live streaming here during the NFL Draft. We're going to be going live for a number of our picks tomorrow. Me and Coop. Coop won't be on a Knicks watch party tomorrow, so we won't be interrupted with that. And man, A.D. Mitchell, still on the board. Xavier Legette, still on the board. There's Ladd McConkey, still on the board. There are still some very good wide receivers on the board for the Pittsburgh Steelers to consider trading up for. Now, if I'm the Steelers, I'm probably waiting. I probably have a list of guys that I really like between the grouping of like Ricky Pearsall, Legette, McConkey, all these guys, you know, I think I'd probably wait for a couple of those guys to go off the board, and then I'm making my aggressive move upwards. And I'm trying not to give up too much in a trade. I'm trying to get the best possible value for that number 2 receiver if you're trying to address that in the draft in round 2. Alaska Corley says, thanks for all the great content, Mr. Sperry. No, Alaska, thank you so much for your support for not only this channel, but for me. You're a big supporter of mine, and I appreciate that. So, San Francisco, do we know who they've taken? They're still on the clock? Okay. So Nate Wiggins, good corner. I think it's a pretty decent value at this point in the draft. And Nate Wiggins looks upset, man. Nate Wiggins does not look happy he went that late. He's hanging his head. He's pouting. Looks like a Raven to me, folks. He's pouting that he's a first-round pick. Give me a break. I hope he stinks, man. I really hope he stinks. I hope George Pickens burns his ass on multiple touchdowns next year. Anthony Remick says, Sperry, speak it into existence. Steelers, Cooper DeJean. Gotta say, man, I wouldn't hate it. I actually really like it. Oh, Pittsburgh fan 412 with a $20 super chat. Gold Club member here. Says, thanks for putting in the long hours today. Man, this is my Super Bowl. This is all of our Super Bowl here at Chat Sports. This is our biggest event of the year. Is there a reason why we can't see the entire super chat there? But yeah, man, it's definitely a lot of work, but it's totally worth it. It's a lot of fun here, but if you're standing for 6+ hours, and it does get to be a lot. I'm not gonna lie, man. So we definitely appreciate your $20 super chat there. 412, you're the best. So now we got 2 picks left in the first round. San Francisco, followed by the Bills. Oh, perfect. Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. I don't deserve this community. This is the best damn fan base on planet Earth. I don't care what sport. I don't care what league. Pittsburgh Steelers fans are the absolute best. And it's an honor to be able to talk Steelers with you guys every single day here for free on the channel. So make sure you click that subscribe button, click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. So listen, man, there's a lot of people speculating which side Fontenot is going to play on the offensive line next year. He's going to play on the left side. Broderick is bigger. Broderick is a better overall run blocker than Fontenot, and Fontenot is the better pass protector, and you want to protect your quarterback's blind side with the better pass protector. So, I mean, I don't think it's even a discussion. Fontenot is going to be your starting left tackle. Probably week 1. I mean, I'm sure they're going to trot Dan Moore Jr. out there at the start of camp or whatever, and they're going to say it's a competition and all these different things. I just think that Fontenot is going to beat him out. Edward Mask says, what do you think JPJ or Zach Frazier in round 3? I'm not sure if those guys will make it to round 3. JPJ has concussion issues, which is driving him down the draft board tonight. And Mel Kiper Jr. and the people at ESPN have been saying for weeks, JPJ and Frazier not going round 1. Because, Frazier, he's not the best athlete in the world. He's got strong hands, really strong overall player, had 30 bench press reps. But yeah, man, I think Zach Frazier, really technically sound player. I would love for him to be the pick somewhere tomorrow as well. Will they make it to round 3? I'm not too sure. I would love for them to. That'd be a great value. But I'd also be okay with Cedric Van Pran in round 3 as well. Whew, man. Days like this, man, days like this make me excited for our watch parties in the fall. It's just going to be so much fun. They were great last year. This year they were great with Kenny Pickett, like stinking up the place last year. I mean, with Russell Wilson and the new offense coming in and this defense getting better and all the players they're bringing in, it just feels different coming into 2024. It just does. And I think the Steelers are going to be a damn good football team. So, no, they're taking Ricky Pearsall. 49ers are taking Ricky Pearsall out of Florida over Ladd McConkey, over Adonai Mitchell, over Xavier Legette. Yeah, Jordan Schultz, they're taking Ricky Pearsall. So it's a wide receiver. This is the guy that I was kind of thinking was going to fall to the Steelers at 51. I thought he was a great fit. He's also a great fit for the 49ers. And if they end up trading Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall is going to be somebody that can come in and kind of take that role. Plus, he can play in the slot right away. So it's not like they have to trade Brandon right now. So maybe the door on an Ayuk trade isn't completely closed. I mean, at this point, I think that they would still want the Steelers' 2025 first-round pick. And with the quarterback situation kind of in limbo, like you have 2 quarterbacks and with 1-year contracts, you might be in the market for a quarterback next year, potentially. You don't want to play around with first-round picks in future years, in my opinion. So this is an interesting pick to me because I love Pearsall, but, obviously these teams are lower on guys like McConkey, guys like Mitchell, guys like Legette, and all of those guys I think would be excellent fits with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like if the Steelers are looking for like a true number 2 wide receiver and they don't want to have to trade for a guy like Courtland Sutton, maybe you can think about putting together a couple picks to trade up for a Xavier Legette tomorrow, to trade up for an Adonai Mitchell tomorrow, to trade up for a Ladd McConkey tomorrow. And by the way, my comp for Ladd McConkey is Deontay Johnson. Only you would be getting him way cheaper. He's a way better run blocker, and I think his overall upside is higher. I think he's got way more secure hands. Like, Ladd McConkey is a better version of Deontay Johnson, and he comes from a system there in Georgia that runs the football a lot, so he's going to be a good run blocker right away. Honestly, guys, I think Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin might be talking about a potential trade-up for one of these receivers because I'm a big fan of A.D. Mitchell. I am a big fan of Xavier Legette, and I'm a big fan of Ladd McConkey. Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be one for every hour. Coop just poked his head in and said, that's a great pick for the Niners. A.D. Mitchell still available? Xavier Legette still available? Ladd McConkey? Could the Steelers trade up for one of these receivers? So, wow, the Carolina Panthers are trading up with the Bills. The Bills aren't taking a receiver. Carolina trading up into round 1. Yeah, we'll go game time. I don't think we're going to be live for that long. Probably just game time. And the Panthers are taking Xavier Legette. So there goes that dream, folks. There goes the A.J. Brown comp to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Xavier Legette, wide receiver. I'm super surprised that the Bills didn't take Legette there. They must have their eye on somebody else because they're not moving down that much. Like, they still have a high second-round pick, so they obviously think they can still get one of these top receivers. In fact, they switched picks, 32 and 33. So Buffalo is going to have the first pick tomorrow night. Panthers are going to take Xavier Legette. My goodness, man. So Xavier Legette off the board, Ricky Pearsall off the board. Adonai Mitchell and Ladd McConkey escape to round 2. That's surprising. That is surprising to me, man. Honestly, if Ladd McConkey falls to the Chargers, I feel like he's going to be the pick in round 2. And Adonai Mitchell to New England, or even 33 with Buffalo, that certainly feels like the pick. All right. We're going to have one last sponsor read here with our friends at Game Time, which is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. Guys, I'm somebody that loves to get or loves to go out and go to sporting events and to concerts and to comedy shows, but I'm not somebody that likes to plan stuff in advance. Well, Game Time is perfect for people like me because they have the lowest price guarantee. So all I have to do is take out my Game Time app, and I don't have to worry about checking out all these different apps and comparing prices because that's so monotonous and boring and it wastes my time. I know Game Time is the lowest price guaranteed for every ticket to any event, so I absolutely love that. And Game Time actually rewards you for procrastinating because the longer you wait, the flash deals get even better, which drive the prices down. Game Time is the fastest growing ticketing app in the United States and is the only ticketing app on the market that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy your tickets so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive at the arena. And tickets are sent directly to your phone instead of your email. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS. It's one word, all caps. It's right down there in the bottom right of your screen for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, so we're waiting on official word here. So obviously, the Bills like one of these receivers. Wow. Wow, man. Alaska Corley says, thanks, Mr. Sperry. See you tomorrow. We'll still be on for a little bit here. We're not going to wrap it up quite yet. We're going to wait for the final pick to officially be done here. But tonight, we're going to be getting first-round grades out on the channel. So I gave my initial reaction to the Troy Fotana pick. It's officially on the channel right now if you want to check that out, if you didn't see it during our live cut. And then tomorrow, or later tonight, I'm going to be posting my official grade video on that Troy Fotana pick. So some pretty interesting stuff there. And then we'll get into, I'll film a round 2 mock draft, round 2 and 3 mock draft for the Steelers. That'll be out tomorrow morning before the draft gets going. All right, so it's going to be another fun day tomorrow. Lots of picks, okay? 2 rounds. Steelers have 3 picks at their disposal tomorrow. As of right now, they need a receiver, they need a corner, they need an interior offensive lineman, and I think that's going to be something that they absolutely can get done tomorrow. You got 3 needs, you got 3 picks. Just get the best players that you can at all 3 of those positions, and we should be A-okay. Now, make sure you click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. We're 3 likes away from 850, all right? So if we could get to up to 850, that'd be fantastic. And by the way, I think the Carolina Panthers are getting a good one in Xavier Legette. He reminds me a lot of A.J. Brown when he was coming out of Ole Miss. He's built. He's very fast. He's a runaway type of player. He's also really big and can win contested catch situations. Would have loved for the Steelers to have an opportunity to trade up tomorrow for him, but, I kind of figured he was going to go in round 1 at some point, and he did. So Good player, but you got some great opportunities tomorrow. Cooper DeJean falls into round 2. Adonai Mitchell falls into round 2. Let me see. I'm going to go over some of the best players available here. See, did somebody take Jerzon Newton? Dude, Jerzon Newton is still on the board? What the fuck are these teams thinking? This guy, he's awesome. Who else hasn't been taken here? Adonai Mitchell still hasn't been taken. Let's see. Jackson Powers Johnson still on the board. Troy Franklin still on the board. Peyton Wilson still on the board. Ladd McConkey still on the board. Mike Sainristil is still on the board. Chop Robinson's on the board. Keon Coleman still on the board. Yeah, man, there's some surprises here for sure that leaked into round 2. Yeah, let's show the best available for tomorrow. Johnny Newton should not still be available, period. He is an amazing player. And it is kind of a shame that he fell. He's a little bit undersized, sure, but he's one hell of a football player, man. There's some Steelers fans that said they would have taken him at 20. I disagreed with those people because defensive tackle is just not that big of a need for the Steelers. They need rotational help. They don't need starting help at that spot. But, I mean, if Johnny Newton falls to 51, I can't help myself. That's going to be the pick for me. Jackson Powers Johnson, still available. I kind of predicted that he would be still available because of those concussion issues that he's had. And at that position, that's kind of rough. Kool-Aid McKinstry falls out of round 1. Ladd McConkey. Really good route running wide receiver out of Georgia, still available. Cooper DeJean, I think would be a perfect fit for the Steelers if they can grab him. Adonai Mitchell still available. Kingsley Suamatea, Zach Frazier still available as well. So you got some pretty good centers to work with. Edgerrin Cooper and Mike Sainristil are going to be available as well. Keon Coleman, Cooper Beebe, Roman Wilson, Troy Franklin, Braylon Trice, Braden Fisk. There's some good players there for the Steelers to take advantage of for sure. So I'm looking forward to what the Steelers are going to be able to put together tomorrow in terms of their draft. It sounds like Mike Tomlin and the Steelers coaching staff feel really good about playing Fontenot at left tackle and Broderick Jones at right tackle. So you're looking at interior offensive linemen tomorrow. You're looking at wide receiver, and you're probably looking at corner for your 3 selections. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I think we're going to be good here, man. I think it's about time we sign off here, Tex. We're going to be going live again tomorrow. It's going to be Coop. Coop has promised me he's not going to have a watch party that he has to be on tomorrow. So it'll be me and Coop. He'll be here to discuss the Troy Fontenot pick. We'll be live reacting to all the picks tomorrow for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be a fun one. Don't miss it. Make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications to never miss any of our content. And we still have another VOD, another video coming out later today where I'm going to be giving some more extended thoughts on the Troy Fontenot pick at number 20 and why I think it's a good one for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, that'll be it for today, guys. I really do appreciate all of your support. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And until next time, here we go, Steelers.